Hello and welcome to the 2025 NASCAR Canada Series, and for the first time ever, we can say hello from Rev TV. This is race number 1, the Clarington 200 from Canadian Tire Motorsport Park in Bowmanville, Ontario, just outside of Toronto. I'm Dave Bradley. Joined with me is 2023 NASCAR Canada Series champion Trayton Lapsevich. And Trayton, it's the excitement, it's the jitters, it's a brand new season. What are some of these drivers feeling as they sit on the grid right now?
Absolutely. Like you mentioned, nerves for sure. It's been a long off season here in Canada. The drivers have been sitting there for 5-6 months, haven't been able to get into a car. So nerves for sure, a little bit of excitement, and no better place to start off the 2025 season than here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. It's
a wonderful facility. It's a historic facility as well, and it's unique in that there's a strategy that will play out over the course of this race because of the distance.
Yeah, Canadian Tire Motorsports Park always throws an awesome twist in for the drivers and the teams. You're going to take fuel for sure. Guys will probably get that done as soon as possible. That window opens around lap 10 to 13. And then the exciting part is the tire strategy. You got 4 tires sitting there in the pits. Some guys have taken no tires, 2 tires, 4 tires. It really all depends how the track position plays for these guys and how the cautions fall.
And of course, this is just one of 12 races over the course of the 2025 schedule. 7 ovals, 5 road and street circuits, and a new addition this year.
Yeah, absolutely. The drivers are going to take on Calabogie this year, which is another purpose-built road course, really similar to Canadian Tire Motorsports Park in that sense. We've had these street courses like Toronto, like Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières, and now we have Calabogie joining CTMP as another purpose-built road course. So definitely should be interesting and throws another twist for the teams.
For sure, and a return to Sunset Speedway this year as well, which is great for the drivers and the teams who live close to that track. Some of them calling it their home facility. But talking about some of the drivers to watch over the course of the season, and we will expand on that over the course of the 2025 season, but here today, several of them are either coming or going after qualifying. One of the comers is the 80 of Alex Tagliani, a strong qualifying effort.
Yeah, and it's Alex Tagliani's second season with this team. Alex's results at CTMP maybe have not been where he's wanted them to be these last few years, so definitely really good to see him in that third starting position. He's got Don Thompson Jr. on the pit box this year, which is definitely a great addition. He's obviously a legendary figure in the Canadian motorsports scene, so definitely going to be interesting to see him roll from the second row.
And once again, Alex will be splitting time. Donald Teague will be running the oval races. Alex will be running the road and street circuits, but you can't go through drivers to watch without mentioning the defending series champion 2024. Top of the heap was Marc-Antoine Cameron. Here he qualified 4th.
Absolutely. Marc-Antoine Cameron definitely always fast at the road courses and always fast at CTMP where he's got a few wins. So we'll expect him to be at the front of the field come the end of the race here.
Now, one driver who struggled a little bit in qualifying was a driver of the number 27. He has the most all-time wins in the NASCAR Canada Series. It's been a while since he's visited Victory Lane, but that's Andrew Ranger.
Yeah, Andrew, we're definitely a little bit surprised to see him, that far back in qualifying. But, we have about a second splitting 1st to 10th, which is really close if you think about it here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. So, we'll expect Andrew to, maybe make some adjustments through the race, and he'll end up front when it comes all down to it.
Yeah, he'll roll off 8th today, and as I mentioned, been a long time since we've seen him in Victory Lane here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. But one driver that took it to them all, a little bit of a surprise, maybe for some, maybe not so much for others, but the person sitting on the E3 Spark Plugs pole is standing by with the 3rd member of our broadcast team. We say hello to Todd Lewis. Todd?
It is always an exciting time at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park for the kickoff of the new NASCAR Canada Series season. Fans come out. It's a tradition that has gone through many generations. They always start their summer here, even if it is cool like it is today. Doesn't matter, though, because we've had hot temperatures, and the teams, they're both excited and a little bit nervous. Excited to see what the changes and all the hard work that they've put into the offseason, whether it pays off this year, and a little bit nervous because it's an important first race. You don't want to fall behind early. One of the drivers are certainly not falling behind early. Kyle Steckley, who wins the E3 Spark Plugs Pole Award, a time of 1:22.2, a speed of 107 miles per hour, 173 kilometers per hour if you prefer. First pole, can you get your first win today in the NASCAR Canada Series?
I sure hope so, Todd. I mean, we've got a really fast MBS Motorsports here, excavating 22 car, and it's really special to be here at CTMP in the 22 car with my dad's paint scheme, so that's special, and we obviously have a really fast car, so hopefully I can get out front, get a bit of a gap, manage it, and then see how the race plays out with pit stops and cautions and all that. But it's going to be a long 52 laps, and hopefully we can keep it in one piece and be where we are now at the end of 52 laps.
A little bit of the strategy there that Kyle shared with us as well. Good luck today, Kyle. We appreciate it. Kyle will lead the...
And there is the command to fire the engines here in race number 1 at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. That's Heidi Hackinson, Hannah Hathaway, Macy Hathaway, Hudson Hathaway, and Maxon Hathaway, all family of the late Ed Hackinson, firing off the cars here for race number 1 of 2025. But this is the exciting time. This is what the fans who have filed into this facility have been waiting for.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we got around, 40 to 50,000 people here at this event at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park to kick off the year. It's going to be an exciting one for sure, and I can't wait to see who ends up on top.
So we'll take a quick break. We'll be back in 60 seconds. The cars will be rolling off as we prepare for the start here in the Clarington 200 at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park.
Race day, it's Pinty's Day. Your go-to for Canadian farmed podium-worthy seasoned chicken wings, pit stop perfect tenders, and so much more. Fueled by flavor, driven by passion, and proudly Canadian.
This destroys your prostate. This destroys your prostate. This destroys your prostate. Ugh.
Why do people not know that Flomax can cause ejaculation issues in about 13% of men? Why do people not know that prostate swelling can start before age 30, not in your 60s? Why do people not know that 1 in 5 men leak urine for months after prostate cancer surgery? As a board-certified surgeon, I've seen firsthand that prostate problems aren't about getting older. They're caused by harmful bacteria invading and swelling your prostate from the inside. And fixing this is so much simpler than endless pills and risky surgeries.
Here's why your prostate problems keep coming back, and the easiest way to fix it without drugs, surgery, or endless bathroom trips. I'm going to show you the hidden reason you keep getting up at night to pee, and why nothing has worked so far. Look closely at this model of your prostate. Your prostate sits right under your bladder, and it wraps completely around your urethra, the tube where your pee comes out. See how it's shaped like an O-ring? It circles around your urethra like an O-ring around a garden hose. This part stores your urine. It's the bladder. And this tube running through is your urethra. Pee travels out through here. Now watch this. When your prostate is healthy, the O-ring grip is loose. You get easy, full flow. But when your prostate gets swollen, the O-ring tightens around your urethra, cutting your pee flow down to a slow trickle. That's why you're standing there waiting for your stream to start, still dripping after you zip up, getting up 5, 6, even 7 times a night, feeling like you never fully empty your bladder. And here's the scary part. Every night that O-ring gets tighter and tighter, like someone's tightening a belt 1 notch at a time. And if you ignore this, it only gets worse. Some guys end up wetting themselves, can't make it to the bathroom in time. Others end up needing risky surgery that can leave you with a broken morning salute and leaking urine. Now, here's what doctors don't tell you. According to research from Harvard, the reason your prostate swells, making your O-ring clamp down on your pee flow, comes down to bad bacteria taking over. See, your prostate is supposed to have good bacteria that keep it healthy and keep that O-ring loose. But when bad bacteria take over, often after taking antibiotics or even just getting older, your prostate swells up. The more swollen it gets, the tighter your prostate's O-ring squeezes around your urethra. That's why you keep waking up at night, dribbling in your underwear, and feeling like you can never fully empty your bladder. Once the good bacteria are wiped out, yeast and harmful bacteria move right in, making your prostate swell even more. Meanwhile, doctors keep prescribing pills like Flomax and DHT blockers. Sure, Flomax relaxes muscles, so you pee easier for a few hours, but it doesn't stop the swelling. So your prostate, that O-ring around your urethra, stays tight. DHT blockers might shrink the prostate over months, but they'll crush your testosterone and kill your sex drive, which means you'll keep coming back for more pills without ever loosening that O-ring that's strangling your pee flow. Look, I get it. As a doctor, I've seen this cycle destroy men's lives. Hell, that's exactly what happened to my own uncle. Poor man had 6 bathroom trips every night, doctors pushing risky surgery. As a board-certified surgeon who's worked with the Boston Celtics and Harvard Athletics, I knew there had to be a better way. So I dug deep into the research and found a simple 30-second morning method that starts working within days by doing 3 things. First, kills the yeast and bad bacteria so the swelling goes down. Second, releases your prostate's O-ring grip on your urethra so pee flows like you're in your 30s. Third, restores your good bacteria, so you're not back here in 6 months with the same problem, unless you finally sleep through the night. I made a short video where I'll show you exactly how to do this 30-second O-ring release from your own home. Click below now to watch the video. No email required. It's super quick and shows you every step. Listen, don't wait until that O-ring is squeezed so tight barely anything gets through. Some men end up needing surgery, and trust me, it doesn't always go well. Up to 40% of men lose their morning salute after these procedures. Don't let that happen to you. Click below now to learn the 30-second method that's already helped thousands of men loosen that O-ring and finally sleep peacefully through the night. Because 3 a.m. is for sleeping, not for peeing. Take back your nights and your life.
Pinty's.
Whether it's preparing for competition or manufacturing the finest automotive protection products, you can be sure to find the same dedication to innovation, precision, and performance that we deliver on the racetrack.
And there you can see the field rolling off behind the pace cars here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Welcome back to race number 1 here live on Rev TV. I'm Dave Bradley. Joined with me is Trayton Lapsevich. And now with the ambient temperature the way it is, and it has been a weird weather weekend. We've had some rain at times. We've had warm temperatures. Right now, though, it's cold and overcast. How important is it to get heat in these general tires?
Yeah, it's super important. We found out yesterday there was a lot of differences in the track from practice to qualifying. Was pretty warm in practice. We had a big storm come through after practice. Got cold after that. So, you know, we're probably going to see some fast speeds today. It's going to change the handling of the car a little bit, but it's all about who could expect that the most and who can tune for it.
That was one of the things, talking to some of the drivers pre-qualifying. They said the track just felt really greasy. There wasn't really a lot of traction available, so it remains to be seen as to whether or not the rain that blew through this morning has cleared off even more of that rubber.
Yeah, we could probably expect that a little bit of the rubber got washed off of the track. So, you know, maybe guys are going to be sliding around for the first couple laps, but as we build some rubber, the tracks might change, and it might change the handling of the cars a little bit.
Well, let's take a look at your starting lineup. As we heard from Kyle Steckley, driver of the 22, he will roll off after winning the E3 Spark Plugs Pole Awards, and he will start in the top spot. Alongside him will be the 74 of Kevin Lacroix. There is the 80 of Alex Tagliani. We talked about him with a great qualifying effort there, and then the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron will roll off in the 4th position. But as we go through the field, you see Alex Gannett with a great starting spot. Gary Kloot struggled a little bit in the 59. He's not quite where he needs to be in the 59. Normally you see him at the front. He was a previous track record holder.
Absolutely. I saw that Gary mentioned that he had a little bit of a slip up in qualifying. It might have cost him some time. But, you know, I'm expecting him to be really quick today in the race.
We saw the flash of the 47 of LP Dumoulin. He qualified in the 13th spot, which was a bit of a concern for that team. As a matter of fact, they changed a carburetor, so the 47 WeatherTech Dodge will be going to the back for his start. But several new faces. Matthew Kingsbury had engine trouble in qualifying, and we will see several new faces, one of them being the 28 of Ryan Vargas.
Yeah, Ryan Vargas, a guy who has a lot of experience in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, NASCAR Truck Series. I actually got to do a little bit of racing with him on iRacing during COVID in the NASCAR International Series, so a lot of experience there, and you know, a new challenge for him in the NASCAR Canada Series.
Yeah, for sure. You can see Danny Chisholm, the driver from the East Coast, pairing up with Ed Hackinson Racing once again this year, hoping to do more events, likely not the full season, but still trying to get that funding together.
And we'll keep an eye on Danny Chisholm as well. Really fast in practice. He had a left front flat tire in qualifying, which definitely impeded his starting position here. So we'll expect him to make his way up there really early.
And there's a guy who's super talented in Legends cars, if you've ever followed his career. He is very quick. As we take a look at this facility, and it is one of the fastest road courses in North America. And there's plenty of places to pass.
Yeah, you know, really anywhere is a passing zone if you want to make it one. But we'll be mainly focusing on turn 1. You get a good run down the front straightaway here out of turn 10 and try and make a pass into turn 1. Turn 3 is another great spot. You get a good run out of turn A. And then into turn 5, you'll see guys try and get them under braking.
They say I'm fast for a girl, but that's not true. Because with the right team, you write your own story. I'm not fast for a girl. I'm fast, period.
And then obviously, you know, there's turn 8 at the end of the backstretch there. You get a good draft on the backstretch and be able to put yourself in a spot to make a position there.
Last lap of the race, turn 10 is always an option too, and it's usually with a little bit of bumper included.
Absolutely. Turn 10 is where the money's made. You know, we'll expect that, you know, if there's 2 guys close together getting late into this race, the winning move's probably coming right there in turn 10.
Continuing under pace laps as we get some heat in these cars on an overcast gray day. But we talked a little bit about, off the top of the show, we talked about the strategy that's at play here. 2 tires, 4 tires, no tires in some cases, but we know they all have to take fuel, so they will all come down pit lane.
Yeah, if you look at it statistically, I think the race has been won taking 4 tires these last few years. You know, like I said earlier, it really depends how the caution falls. It really depends where your track position is. If you can take 4 tires under green flag and be able to stay on the lead lap, if you get a late race caution, you're probably going to be in a really good spot. But there's just so many unknowns here, and you know, it's really up to the crew chiefs to make that call.
Do you rely on the history of where caution flags fall in this race? I mean, this is the 29th time that the NASCAR Canada Series has raced here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. So does that come into play?
Yes and no. Generally, we can expect a long green flag run off the start of the race here. And then that's where you're probably going to get, you know, taking your fuel. If you're going to commit to that tire strategy, you're probably going to take those tires around halfway. You can only take 2 tires to stop. So most of the time we see drivers maybe take 2 and then come back around the next lap and take the other 2 if they're planning on that 4-tire strategy. But like I said, it really just all depends how it plays out. Generally, we've seen a late race caution, and generally it's a long one too. So yeah, you can try and look at the past, but we got a lot of cars here, and we could definitely expect to see some cautions, I would say.
And you never know, because the weather can always play a factor here. It's sort of the general area. There's so many lakes in the general area that, you know, clouds can blow in. You could see a quick rain shower, and you do have rain tires at your disposal as well.
Absolutely. Hopefully we're not going to have to use those today, but like you mentioned, it's a cold day. Speeds are going to be fast, and everyone's excited to get this new season started. So we're going to see some aggressiveness off the top and see who comes out of turn 1 with the lead.
As the field heads up through turn 5 one more time before we take green, we can head down pit side, check in once again with our Todd Lewis. Todd?
Guys, great to be back with you again for another season, and can't wait to see this field get released into corner number 1. Couple of updates. The 17 is going to the back because of a shock mount issue. The 1 is going to the back because they had a flat in qualifying. The 47 headed to the back of the field at the start because they made a carburetor change after qualifying. Almost time to get going for 2025.
Thanks very much, Todd. So drivers we will be watching, because a lot of those names are pretty big names as far as the series goes. And you look at the 47, he's one who's usually contending for wins here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park.
Yeah, you know, definitely a little bit surprising to see that 47 further back in the field. He definitely struggled a little bit in practice and struggled big in qualifying, but you know, hopefully they got that fixed up with the carburetor issue, and we'll see him charge through this field.
See the field lining up 2 by 2. This is where the excitement starts to build as they head into turn number 8. Look for the pace car to peel down pit lane this time, bunching up at the end of the Andretti straightaway as the field finds their spot. There you can see DJ Kennington dropping to the back of the pack. He will start towards the rear in that Castrol number 17. Pace car is off. Field makes its way through turn number 9. As they head for turn number 10, they'll be on the front chute. You can hear the revs start to pick up, and we are underway. The 2025 NASCAR Canada Series is green on Rev TV. Nicole Jones from Amherst Crane waving the green flag, and already we've got cars crossways.
Kyle Steckley gets a great jump out of turn 1. Is able to lead him into turn 2 here, but Kevin Lacroix side by side there with Alex Gannett entering turn 2.
Field sorting out single file, a little bit deeper in the pack, but there you can see just the movement of these cars on the exit of turn number 2. Somebody caught the grass going into turn number 3 as well and dropped back just a touch, but we stay green as everybody stays straight.
A lot of sliding around here. Like we said, these cold temperatures, it's going to take some time to get these heat in these tires, but the drivers are definitely fighting these cars quite a bit right now.
Tagliani in the St. Hubert number 80 doesn't want to wait. He's going to rough up the youngster Kyle Steckley just a little bit. It's a drag race down the Andretti straightaway, and the 80 of Tagliani's going to take it, but look at Lacroix.
Kevin Lacroix getting a great drive down this backstretch. A little bit of draft here. It doesn't look like Tags didn't give it to him. He's going to be on the outside of Steckley entering into 8 here. That's a tough place to make a pass on the outside, but he's still there.
But he's Kevin Lacroix, and he will try and stick it. He is going to go side by side as Steckley has a little wiggle on the inside of turn number 8. That's going to cost him the spot. So put the adaptive 1 calipers number 74 of Kevin Lacroix in a second spot.
Tagliani got a great lead there while the 74 and the 22 were battling. But that 74, he's going to be driving hard and trying to close that down and get that track position.
Look at who's lurking there, the 39 of Alex Gannett. There's a talented race car driver who has had sort of missed opportunities over the course of his career. Oh, that's Simon Charbonneau in the Transgestion number 88. He's still a rookie, does have a few starts in the NASCAR Canada Series, still listed as a rookie, but yeah, that was a big save. And I was just mentioning Gannett. Gannett has a win at the Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières, so he can get it done.
Absolutely. Gannett has always been a good road course racer. This is a new car to this team this year, and it's a fairly new chassis under there. So he's had good speed in testing, had good speed in qualifying, and he's got some good track position here early.
There you can see the Transgestion number 88 of Simon Charbonneau, still the rookie stripe, just ahead of the 42.
When Jimmy's boss can't make an urgent meeting, he's forced to cover. So Jimmy asks Copilot at Outlook to catch him up. Copilot scours his emails and briefs him on the key intel. Jimmy handles the meeting. Copilot handles the details.
With a simple search on Get Your Guide, explore new places and local culture with expert guides. Find unique experiences that feel truly worth it and travel with flexibility and peace of mind. Discover your next experience with millions of reviews from other travelers on Get Your Guide.
Of Ryan Klutz out of Halton Hills, Ontario, the legendary motor car backed entry. You can see the blue Ford. That is one of the new drivers and one of 2 American drivers in the field this year. We talked about Ryan Vargas out of California on the top, but off the top, but Josh Hurley behind the wheel of the 24 also hails from California.
Yeah, and he comes from Trans Am Racing, which is a lot of road racing, so he's got a lot of experience on these road courses, but it comes down to the difference in the cars, which obviously he's taken to these NASCAR Canada Series cars very well, but those Trans Am cars, they got a lot of downforce, they're a little bit lighter, but he was mentioning that he felt a little uneasy in these NASCAR Canada Series cars, throwing them around so much, but was enjoying the challenge.
Saw the 3 car, Jason Hathaway, and the sanctioned brakes Chevrolet sliding back as the 96 Marc-Antoine Cameron, the GM Paillet Chevrolet, managed to get through. The 59 Gary Clute, brand new livery on board, and a few new sponsors jumping on board with the 59 this year, the Autologic Hoffman Plastics Dodge. And again, there's a driver who we've seen sit on the pole, we've seen lead the most races, and he's won here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, but this year he's sort of mired in that first group.
Yeah, and Gary Klute's always been fast here, as you mentioned. He's got John Fletcher up on the pit box, so really smart guy. And John's always interested in that strategy too. So we're knowing that he's going to be watching this race as it unfolds, trying to make these decisions on the go to put Gary in a good position to maybe take home that checkered flag at the end of it.
Let's get a look at the AER number 87. That is Sam Fellows, and obviously Sam Fellows has a ton of laps around Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. His dad is legendary Ron Fellows, and they had tremendous bad luck last year, and just hoping that luck turns around. In qualifying, it looks like it did, because he qualified inside the top 10.
Absolutely, really competitive qualifying lap for Sam Fellows. Like you mentioned, he's got a lot of laps here, so he kind of understands how the track changes with the different weather and the different temperatures, so maybe a little bit of an advantage for him coming into today as well.
Cameron starting to pressure the number 39 of Alex Gannett, taking a peek on the inside of turn number 3. As you can see where your favorite driver is running on the ticker on the top of the screen, Malcolm Strawn in the Jim Bray number 98. There is a driver that we should be talking about. You saw the flash of the nose, the red flames in the Curb Records number 98 just towards the tail of that main pack. Man, that Ford Mustang is moving, and that's a great news story.
Absolutely. It's a great run going here for Malcolm Strawn and Jim Bray as well, you know, who's done so much for our sport and been involved in the NASCAR Canada Series for so long. So, you know, hopefully keep this good run going and, you know, put that 98 machine in a good position here late in the race as we get going into it.
Malcolm Strawn is a veteran road racer running regional races through his career. As you see Clute take advantage of turn 10, a great drive off of 9, and that's textbook.
Yeah, Jason Hathaway, he's not going to fight for it too much here. Jason's a really smart driver, and I want to touch on that too because this was a really good qualifying effort for Jason Hathaway. He's won here in the past. He won here in 2015. Maybe hasn't been up towards the front of the field at CTMP as of recently, but this is a great qualifying effort for him. He's not going to fight it too hard early. He's going to sit back, ride, get into a rhythm and see what he can do. As we see the 96 still pressuring Alex Gannett here in the 39.
Yeah, and lighting up that right front tire under braking, and that is something you have to be careful about too. If you're thinking of trying to keep those General tires on that machine for a long period, do a long run, you have to take care of them.
Yeah, for sure, and you know that might adjust the 96's strategy as the race goes on. The last thing you want to do is flat spot those tires. But the 74 here, he's gaining some ground on the 18 of Alex Tagliani. Alex was able to get to a great advantage early on in the race, but the 74 seems quick, and Kyle's hanging around there too as well. He's definitely not losing any ground.
Sweet sounds of horsepower down the Andretti straightaway here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Good look at Cameron. And now, you mentioned it, the 74 is really turning up the pressure on the 80 of Alex Tagliani.
These guys are going to fight hard for this lead. You know, if a caution does come out, you want to have that control. The 80 has a fast car. The 74 has got a fast race car. And we know these are two aggressive drivers, so they're going to fight for that top spot. Albeit it's only on lap 6, but still, that track position is important to these guys. As we see a local caution here in turn 3, we're going to try and get a look at what happened.
And that is something unique to NASCAR racing. You mentioned a local caution, and you see a waving blue flag. It's not what you would normally see under road racing circles.
We got
Matthew Scannell. Yeah, the 99 of Matthew Scannell has stopped and is off on the side of the track, but that is in a dangerous spot.
Yeah, so if Matthew can't get that car rolling, NASCAR is going to have to throw a full course caution as it comes out here to get Matthew's car off the track and have a safe racing surface here.
So a full course caution, 6 laps into the books, and now we can see possibly that strategy come to fruition. Is somebody going to pit early? We're going to find out in just a little bit. We'll take a quick break here in the Clarington 200 on Rev TV.
NASCAR Canada is brought to you in part by Pinty's, proudly Canadian. The ARCA Menard Series is the premier division of the Automobile Racing Club of America and a key NASCAR regional feeder to the big leagues of stock car racing. The ARCA Menard Series is where the champions of tomorrow are tested. And you can catch the whole season live on Rev TV.
We are a nation built by industry and driven by innovation. Forged with pride and domestically produced with engineered perfection, Leland Industries services agricultural storage needs as well as the commercial and industrial construction industry. Rural and urban contractors rely and depend on Leland Fasteners. North American manufactured with North American steel. Leland Industries, solidly connecting industries around the globe.
When it's race day, it's Pinty's Day. Your go-to for Canadian farmed podium-worthy seasoned chicken wings, pit stop perfect tenders, and so much more. Fueled by flavor, driven by passion, and proudly Canadian. Pinty's.
a simple game. All it takes is everything. But when it gives, that's what keeps you coming back.
This NASCAR Canada broadcast is brought to you in part by WeatherTech. Find your fit online at weathertech.ca.
And welcome back to Canadian Tire Motorsport Park in race number 1 of the 2025 NASCAR Canada Series here on Rev TV. We continue under a full course caution for a stricken number 99 of Matthew Skinnell, the driver of the Nitro 54 variety, Rack.ca Dodge. Had a pretty decent qualifying effort, starting in the 14th position here today, and unfortunately something has gone amiss in that car, and he stopped in between turns 3 and 4. So there you can see the cleanup crew here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, not even needing the tow truck, just going to give him a push back. So it looks like it's something to do with the powertrain. The window net's down, and Matthew will obviously be frustrated, but he's been fast here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park in the past. He has had really good speed, been very competitive, but unfortunately today looks like his day is going to end early.
Absolutely, and I know this is one that Matthew struggles or circles, because I think he always runs this one here in May and then the one in fall. So Matthew's always been really fast at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. I noticed that in qualifying that he had a really good lap put down, so definitely hate to see this. As you said, he's got the window net down, so we might not expect to see him back, but hopefully the crew can get a look at it and, maybe get him back out there. He might be a couple laps down, but you can hope for some cautions, maybe get back in the lead lap, but we'll see here. Hopefully it's not terminal.
It's a little early for pit stops right now. We're looking at a window between 12 to 15 laps, so we're keeping an eye on any strategy playing out on pit lane. But of course, this year we are racing with the Hackinson family, always in our thoughts, as the member known as Fast Eddie, Ed Hackinson, passed away in the offseason. He played a key role in both the NASCAR Canada Series and CASCAR before it, helping to develop this series. He was inducted into the Canadian Motorsport Hall of Fame in 2019. Ed Hackinson will be very much missed.
This NASCAR Canada broadcast is presented in part by Phoenix. Rise again by visiting phoenix.ca.
When it's race day, it's Pinty's Day. Your go-to for Canadian farmed podium-worthy seasoned chicken wings, pit stop perfect tenders, and so much more. Fueled by flavor, driven by passion, and proudly Canadian. Pinty's.
Rev TV, your motorsports and motoring destination, is now on free preview all June. Watch live races from around the world and right here at home. From marquee racing series like the NASCAR Canada Series, MotoGP, IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, the ARCA Menard Series, and Indy Next. Rev TV also features up-to-date news coverage, documentaries, DIY programs, and adrenaline-filled lifestyle programs. From 2 wheels to 4, from land to sea, your destination for speed is Rev TV. Contact your TV provider to order.
It's fine. It happens to most guys.
It does. But these days, Canadian guys have Phoenix.ca to connect with a physician about ED treatment plans that may be right for them.
Or hair loss treatment plans. Phoenix makes discussing them convenient as well.
And if this just isn't working for you, you can discuss additional weight loss treatment plans through Phoenix.
And Phoenix delivers discreetly. So maybe it's time. Golf balls.
NASCAR Canada is brought to you in part by General Tire. General Tire delivers.
And welcome back to the NASCAR Canada Series on Rev TV. We continue under our first full course caution as the 99 of Matthew Skinnell has been pushed back to the paddock area, but the field lining up 2 by 2 down the back straightaway. Let's take a quick check-in with our Todd Lewis, who's pit side. Todd?
Little update on the 47 car of LP Dumoulin, sent to the back, of course, because of that carburetor change after qualifying. Just checked in with the team. They are improved, not quite where they want to be, but the vibration is gone. The carburetor's a little better, hopefully giving LP something to work with as we get set to go back to green flag racing.
And we can tell you the 85 of Larry Jackson, the Rack.ca M-Zone Dodge, did make a quick stop down pit lane as well, checking things over in the early going. Again, still too early to make that scheduled stop. So these two combatants are going to do battle once again. Tagliani and Kevin Lacroix. As you mentioned, Trayton, two very physical drivers, and they're going to head to turn number 1 with cooler tires now, which should make it exciting.
Yeah, we'll see if Tagliani can get the jump into turn 1, but the 74 Kevin Lacroix is going to fight him for that top spot here.
Entering the Pinty's restart zone, and the green flag will hold the field. It waves, and we're back underway with Tagliani getting a good jump to turn 1.
39 of Alex Canet is going to clear the 22 of Kyle Steckley, and the 59 of Gary Klute's going to try and follow him as well. But the 80 of Alex Tagliani, really good start for him, was able to get that clean track and get single file. The 74 is going to try and
oh, we got problems just up at the top of your screen. You see the 88 going for a long ride in the runoff area, and it was one of the Klute cars. Didn't see who, but it's the legendary motor car number 6, so that's Peter Klute, the father of Gary and Ryan, both in this field as well. So Peter does a quick spin in turn number 2, and we stay green. He managed to keep it off the tire wall.
Really good save there. When you get out of the rubber in turn 2, it's not a great place to be. So the fact that they were both able to keep those cars out of the wall is really great, and we're able to stay green.
They might count you out.
They might doubt you.
The only way to prove them wrong is to keep driving.
And several years ago, that would have ended in disaster here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. That would have been on the grass, guaranteed a trip into a concrete wall.
Yeah, especially after some rain, too. That grass would have been wet, and you'd be sliding there. But all these runoff areas are paved. We got some gravel in turn 8 here, so it definitely saves a lot of race cars.
Just a good look at the BC race cars. Number 24 of Josh Hurley. He's got a little bumper damage on the back end as Gary Klute goes to work and dives to the inside of the 39 of Alex Gannett. They'll drag race into turn number 1, and it looks like Klute is going to drag along the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron with him.
Yeah, that 59 is looking really strong, and obviously that 96 there too, as you mentioned. So these are two guys who probably didn't qualify as well as they wanted to, but we're seeing them march up there early.
Brent Weller in the Arbonne Equipment Corporation, number 81, making his quick pit stop. That's another car fielded by Jim Bray. And so he'll get his stop out of the way here on lap number 10. Rolling the dice, maybe a strategy will play out there in his favor, but you can see they're still a very tight field, packed midway back, and you saw a quick flash of the WeatherTech number 47 of LP Dumoulin, who is moving forward. Again, you can find out where your favorite driver is. We take another look at that pass.
Yeah, as I mentioned, turn 10 is a really good passing zone as you're able to get that run down the front straightaway and complete that pass into turn 1.
Steckley in the Sierra Excavating, number 22, got a little wide. He managed to catch the dirt, which is something that happens surprisingly frequently off of turn number 10. You get a little wide, and there's no runoff there. It's just all dirt.
Yeah, you get those rear tires off a little bit there. It's not too big of an issue, and usually you're able to pull back there. That 17's sliding around as well.
And you can see some bodywork flapping on the Janny King number 8 of Danny Chisholm as pit stops have started. This is the 27 of Andrew Ranger in the GM Paillet-backed Chevrolet. So Ranger will have to watch his pit road speed limit and limit the mistakes. A pit stop under green, you do not want to have an error.
Yeah, Ranger's getting his fuel pit stop out of the way really early here. This is definitely, probably one of the early stages. Hopefully this race doesn't run into overtime because you could see some issues here. But he's actually taking tires, it looks like.
I think he was complaining he might have had a tire going down, so this might have been a surprise to the crew coming over the wall as they are going to work. So that is going to be a big issue. We'll try and send Todd over to get the full story about what's happening. But what looked to be a fuel stop ended up being complete chaos for the crew there as they tried to figure out what needed to happen to that race car.
Yeah, and you definitely don't want these stops to be long under green flags. So, hopefully he's not still on pit road, stays on the lead lap. That's the big thing for sure, is staying on the lead lap, especially in case a caution does come out here soon.
Aerodynamics doesn't play a huge role. It does here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, and when you've got a gaping hole in your hood, as Danny Chisholm does, he'll feel that down the straightaway.
Yeah, it'll hurt you down this long back stretch here. Maybe the crew can get that patched up if a caution does come out, but don't want to waste too much time under green flag to come down and pick that up. As we got the 87 of Sam Fellows marching forward here, looking to the inside of the 22 Kyle Steckley as Jason Hathaway makes his stop here for tires.
Yeah, so this is a scheduled stop on lap 12 for Jason Hathaway in the sanction brake Leland number 3. And so the crew going to work there. And again, they don't have to be super quick. They just have to limit the mistakes. And one of the issues we've seen already play out on pit lane was with the 27. We talked about it, but Todd Lewis has caught up with the crew. Todd, what's the story there?
You're exactly right. It is a tire that they thought they had going down on the left side. That's when they called the 27, the former winner here at CTMP, to pit road. Didn't want to take any chances this early. You can make the change, get the fresh rubber on, still have time to recover. They're now debating whether they're going to come back for the right side tires as well.
Andrew Ranger hasn't won here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, believe it or not, since 2016. There was a time when he was so very, very good at this track, and he still is good. Just unfortunately, some things have happened that have led to him not getting the greatest of finishes. Of course, he is the all-time wins leader in the NASCAR Canada Series.
And Dave, the good thing is that it's still early, so that was definitely a long, unscheduled stop for the 2017, but he's still in this, and it looks like he was able to send the lead lap, so definitely a good thing there for sure.
And there's Malcolm Strawn, the curb records. Number 98, he will take his fuel, and this is a scheduled stop for the driver, the 98, who was flirting with the top 10 just a few laps ago, and the Ford Mustang down and away, and he'll continue his chase. But look at the top 2, now starting to stretch a gap over the third place runner, Gary Clute.
Yeah, and one thing I want to point out is it looks like that 80 car of Alex Tagliani is really fast right off the bat on these short runs, but the 74 of Kevin Lacroix might be a little bit faster after we get some laps on these tires. The 80 of Alex Tagliani was able to stretch a little bit of lead there off that restart, but it looked like the 74 is closing it in, and we'll probably look to make that pass for the lead in the next coming laps.
Marc-Antoine Cameron tailing the 59 of Gary Clute. So, Trayton, if you are Marc-Antoine Cameron, you're in this position. Do you hang behind, take advantage of that draft, maybe get the fuel mileage behind the 59, try and chase down the leaders that way?
Right, at these road courses, you got to be careful where you try to make your passes. If you try to make your pass in a place where it's not really a good passing zone, such as turn 2, where you might be on the outside, as a 22 is slow in a turn 5.
Steckley was in 5th spot. You can see damage to the left front fender, the Sierra Excavating, number 22. So Scott Steckley now falling down the race order, and he's going to stop up in turn number 5. The MBS Motorsports entry is going to stop, so something has gone amiss in the engine. As a 6, Peter Clute comes down pit lane. He will get his scheduled stop, and this might be good news for the 6 of Peter Clute, because in that spot, that's going to require a full course caution, and we have it.
The pitch is looking good.
Yeah, so the 6 was on pit road before the full course caution came out, so he's gonna not be penalized or nothing like that. I see the 22 here stopped on the outside at 5B, that is. So obviously something going amiss as he wasn't able to bring it back down to get to pit road.
And that's important too. You mentioned he's not going to get penalized. That's because pit road does close. So there's a sign that indicates pit road's open or pit road's closed. As soon as that full course caution comes out, it's shut down.
Yes, and the big advantage of this is that when he joins the field here, all these guys are probably going to come down and take their fuel, and he already did that. So as long as he was able to stay on the lead lap, he's going to get a lot of track position here.
So the field now bunching up once again, everyone chasing the 80 Saint-Hubert Chevy of Alex Tagliani, Kevin Lacroix running in second spot, Gary Clute, Marc-Antoine Cameron, and Alex Gannett currently your top 5 as we are now under our second full course caution of the day here in the Clarington 200. And there you can see, that's the flag that is used to indicate pit road is closed.
We're going to see a lot of action on pit road here. You know, the guys that haven't got their fuel stops out are probably going to come down and take fuel. The guys who have taken fuel, we might see them take tires. You know, we're seeing 2 cautions really early in this race here, and that could prompt that we might have a race that's got a lot of cautions in it. And in that case, you're probably going to want those tires because you won't lose too much time. And, you know, pitting under yellow is a lot better than pitting under green because you don't have to worry about going a lap down, and you get that track position back.
Yeah, and what's interesting too is these cautions in quick succession have given the opportunity for a couple of drivers who had to start at the back because of changes to their car. DJ Kennington is currently being scored in the 11th position. LP Dumoulin is all the way up to 7th in the WeatherTech number 47. So that's a story there as we continue to watch the march through the field for those 2 drivers. But again, it'll bunch things up. Another restart, another opportunity for potential mayhem.
Absolutely, and I'm really interested to see what the 27 of Andrew Ranger does. You know, he had that mishap on pit road. They ended up changing 2 tires, so you know, we'll see if he comes back down to change 2 more tires, or if he takes fuel. It's going to be a little interesting to see what strategy they decide to play out to get him that track position back.
Etienne Cliche is the crew chief on that team, and he's a very smart individual, having worked with 23XL in the U.S. before, so no doubt he'll be reworking his strategy and trying to see where they can fall out. But heartbreak has to be at the feet of the Kyle Steckley crew after such a strong effort in qualifying, sitting on the E3 Sparkplugs pole, and now the driver of the CR Excavating Chevrolet being pushed back to the pit area. So we're expecting pit stops to start very shortly as the field makes its way down the back straightaway. You can see some drivers still trying to keep some heat in their general tires. So that would indicate maybe just a fuel stop for some.
Yeah, and you know, it could be just a fuel stop, and it also, you know, us drivers maybe getting a little bit bored under caution sometimes. You want to keep it moving, but yeah, the hold up here for not opening green flag is just getting that 22 to pit road, and then they want to get everyone in the correct order too. So I'm expecting that we'll probably see pit road open this time around, though.
Do you want to save your tires, the newest tires? Is there an advantage to saving it towards the end, hoping for a late race caution?
Yeah, you know, these tires, they get to a point where they fall off to a certain spot, and then they might not fall off too much further. So you want to keep that good in them at a certain point, as we see pretty much the whole field coming down to pit road. The 80 of Alex Tagliani is going to lead them in.
Oh, this is a wholesale purchase on pit lane. All of your race leaders and everybody who is behind them coming down behind the 80 of Alex Tagliani as Gary Clute finds his pit stall. And Tagliani will make his way all the way down pit lane, and that's where we find our Todd Lewis. Todd?
Alex Tagliani is making his stop from the lead. It's right side tires that are going on this time. Ahead of him on pit road, the 74 of Kevin Lacroix, the 47 of LP Dumoulin. They are taking fuel. Right now, the 39 of Alex Gannett has already left. So is Gary Clute, so is DJ Kennington. And others stream out after them. These will be multiple stops. Those that took tires will likely come back for fuel, and vice versa.
Tagliani stopped very close to that pit wall, and that's, again, we talked about limiting mistakes. That's a mistake on the fact of the driver. You don't want to park too close, especially when you're changing those right side tires.
Yeah, it makes it really hard for the team to change the tires. If you park too close to the inside wall, we got the hood up here on the 27 of Andrew Ranger. More issues for him.
Yeah, so they're going to take a look. It looks like they're trying to wiggle the front suspension, so they thought it was a tire. It might be a suspension issue on the 27. They're going to continue to work and try not to lose laps. So as we continue under caution here in the Clarington 200, we'll take a quick break. And we will bring you back for more here on Rev TV.
These factory floor mats, they're just as good as WeatherTech. Just as good as WeatherTech. They're just as good as WeatherTech. Just as good. Just as good as WeatherTech. Just as good.
Are these factory floor mats just as good as WeatherTech?
Yeah! No.
Nothing comes even close to laser-measured WeatherTech floor liners. They offer the ultimate protection, front, back, and even up the sides. For a full line of premium automotive accessories, order at weathertech.ca.
When it's race day, it's Pinty's Day. Your go-to for Canadian farmed podium-worthy seasoned chicken wings, pit stop perfect tenders, and so much more. Fueled by flavor, driven by passion, and proudly Canadian.
When business slowed, Hank asked Copilot in Excel how to help bring back the $1 slice. Copilot runs the numbers so Hank can see which extras make the dollar slice work.
Thank you.
Hank makes the pizza. Copilot handles the spreadsheets.
Is it time to say yep to Vyepti? Vyepti is an IV infusion that helps prevent migraine attacks. Chronic migraine patients saw 23 fewer migraine days on average per treatment. And it's just 4 30-minute IV treatments a year. Don't take if allergic to Vyepti. Allergic reactions, high blood pressure, and Raynaud's, which causes numb or painful fingers or toes, can happen. Get help right away for rash, swelling of the face, lips, tongue, or throat, or trouble breathing, hives, and facial redness. Common side effects are stuffy nose, scratchy throat, and allergic reactions. Ask your doctor about Vyepti.
Pinty's.
We are a nation built by industry and driven by innovation. Forged with pride and domestically produced with engineered perfection, Leland Industries services agricultural storage needs as well as the commercial and industrial construction industry. Rural and urban contractors rely and depend on Leland Fasteners. North American manufactured with North American steel. Leland Industries, solidly connecting industries around the globe.
The IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship is on Rev TV. Catch all the action live with full race coverage of the high-stakes action that North America's leading sports car series delivers. 4 classes, world-renowned drivers, and leading manufacturers putting it all on the line to be champions. IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, right here on Rev TV.
And more pit stops now as we continue under caution here in the Clarington 200 at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. So now the drivers who took fuel coming back in to take those tires.
Yeah, and it might be pretty early to take tires, so it tells me that a lot of guys are thinking that the 4-tire strategy is going to be the winning move. Which is a little bit different than the past because usually we have some diversity in strategies, but looks like everyone's on the 4-tire strategy this year.
Taking a look at where the 80 almost made contact with the 74 as Tagliani and Kevin Lacroix jockeying for position toward the end of pit lane. They almost made contact. That was close.
This is going to shake up the field quite a bit. We see a lot of these guys come in for 2 stops. I'm sure not everyone did that, so there's going to be some guys that stayed out. It's going to shake up the field. Looked like the 80 of Alex Tagliani might have lost a couple spots on pit road, but he's got a fast car. He's going to be aggressive trying to get that lead back.
Down and away for the GM Paillet number 27 of Andrew Ranger. There's a good look at the Bolton GM number 69 of Dominic Scrivo.
Yeah, so you'll see here a lot of guys didn't come down for a second round of pit stops, so that's going to put some of our top contenders really deep in this field, and it's going to be interesting to see them work their way back through.
You saw a quick flash of the 85 of Larry Jackson and Rack.ca backed entry. So according to our official timing and scoring as it stands right now, Ryan Vargas, the rookie out of California, is leading Matthew Kingsbury and Simon Charbonneau. That is your top 3 as it sits right now. So the 3 still on track. Will they make a stop? Nope. They're going to line up 2 by 2. So what they have right now is what they're going to go with. Dave Corsol, Malcolm Strawn, Peter Klutz, Brent Weller, and then you get into the drivers who made several pit stops. Kevin Lacroix, Alex Gannett, Sam Fellows, and Josh Hurley rounding out the top 11. So this is going to be an interesting restart. because you have a driver who's just getting used to the NASCAR Canada Series cars in Ryan Vargas, and you have another driver who had engine trouble in qualifying in the Duro King number 9 of Matthew Kingsbury. So the restart's going to be a bit of a crapshoot.
This is going to be fun. I mean, the field is jumbled up a ton, and you know, we see that 74, the 27, the 96, the 80. These guys are all buried deep in this pack, so they're all going to be trying to get to that front really quick, and it's going to get aggressive really early here.
You saw the one of J.P. Bergeron in the E-Racer Prolon Ford Mustang heading back towards the paddock area, and this is the first year that he is campaigning the car on his own, so trouble in the early going for the one, and it looks like he will be retired for the day as the field all sorted out and lined up 2 by 2 back onto the front straight as they enter into the Pinty's restart zone. The green flag waves and we're back underway.
Looks like some 3 wide going back in the pack here.
Oh, and we got one around, and it is the 9 of Kingsbury. Weller goes for a spin just in front of Clute Scrivo. Contact with the 81. Corsol in the 54 way to the outside. I don't believe he hit anything, but 2 cars did get it. And it's Scrivo who had nowhere to go. He had a spinning car right in front of him as he came through turn number 1.
This is going to bring out another full course caution as the 69 car comes to a stop and a lot of debris on the track. So you know what they say, cautions breed cautions.
You can see there's Malcolm Strawn in a battle with the 88 of Simo Charbonneau. So no caution yet as they work their way through turn number 5. We are watching for you to see if there will be a caution, but it runs the potential that Scrivo could refire that car and slowly limp his way back around, and we could stay green. No, we don't. As I say that, caution flag flies. So yeah, the damage too significant to the 69 of.
They might count you out.
They might doubt you.
The only way to prove them wrong is to keep driving.
Dominic Scrivo, so that's heartbreaking for the MBS Motorsports team. You have Scrivo's had problems. You have Kyle Steckley who had issues earlier on, and those 2 entries have an early end to their Clarington 200.
Absolutely. Really exciting for the team to grab their first pole yesterday, so that's a positive for sure. But obviously disappointing when you bring 2 fast cars to the racetrack and aren't able to finish the race. But we'll look for them to rebound, and you know, they'll be strong the rest of the year, no doubt.
No, guaranteed for that. But you can see the drivers now getting back into line, and NASCAR will be communicating with them to figure out exactly where they will file in. But one of the MBS Motorsports drivers who is out early is standing by with our Todd Lewis. Todd?
It is a disappointed Kyle Steckley who joins me. You seem to have things under control, plenty of power. I know you were just kind of biding your time. Take me through what happened from your seat.
Yeah, just lost the motor, I think. So hate it for all of MBS Motorsports. Obviously, yesterday was a really good day, and today was going okay. It's a long race, just wasn't meant to be, I guess. So hate it for all the guys. We worked really, really hard on this thing, and it was really fast. So disappointing for sure, but we're going to have to figure it out, and I'm sure we'll be back later on this year.
Kyle Steckley will be back for a couple of more NASCAR Canada Series events later on this year.
The disappointment visible on Kyle Steckley, as there you see the J.P. Bergeron machine also out of this one. But Kyle Steckley is not one to shy away from the tools. He works on his late model program that runs in the Ontario area and down into the U.S. sometimes as well. He gets dirty. He gets his elbows in there.
Absolutely. Kyle's a really hard worker, and I'm really disappointed for him. You know, he had really good speed, was able to put it on the pole there, and seemed to be holding his own out there with, you know, some of the best road course racers in Canada, if not in North America. So, you know, obviously really disappointing end to the night for him. But he'll definitely come back even stronger. And, you know, he built a little bit of a notebook to come back in the fall as well. So, you know, we'll look for that 22 car to come back strong.
Hood is up on the Queensway Truck Center, number 81 of Brent Weller, as the crew tries to fix the body damage on that car. But another driver who is out early, and you saw the flash of the car, the E-Racer number 1, is now lined up with our Todd Lewis. Todd?
JP Bergeron joins me. I know this is not where you want to be. You'd rather be out there racing. Take me through what happened that put you out.
Steering pump actually just decided to let go on us. So we had a really good car. I mean, we started from the back because we had to go from the back because we had a flat tire in qualifying. So we had a really good car. I mean, first race as a team owner as well, you know. So it's all my own stuff this year, running out of the Prolon Racing crew. It really stinks for us to have a finish like this, but I mean, we went from almost like last to 7th or 8th. So we had a good car. I guess we'll regroup and we'll be back at Calabugie.
You said you're doing it all this year too, not just team owner, but driver, driving the transporter, everything.
Yeah, exactly. I'm doing it DJ style, like I said to DJ Kennington earlier today. So yeah, I guess we'll try and regroup and just be faster next time.
See you back soon.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we look forward to seeing JP Bergeron at more events. Here's another look at what happened that drew this caution. The 9 of Kingsbury went around, and that's where the contact happens. It was Weller who tried to avoid, jumped hard on the brakes, and that's corner 1. You can't see through it, so you don't know what's on the other side.
Yeah, unfortunately, just really nowhere to go for the number 69 car there. You know, we said that restart was going to be exciting because the field's so jumbled up, but definitely disappointing into his day.
How much does that inside wall, the pit lane wall, come into play when you are working through turn number 1? Does it come into your mind as a driver?
Yeah, and it definitely, like you said, it blocks so we can see on the other side, but the other big thing is you have cars spread out 3 wide, smoke going everywhere, so you know, really tough to see what's going on. Unfortunately, the 61 car there at Brent Weller looks like he just spun to avoid that wreck. And really nowhere to go for the 69 car.
But you do have, much the same as you would on an oval track, you do have spotters around this track. In many cases, you'd have several of them.
Absolutely. So definitely your main spotter is going to be sat up in turn 1 there. Most teams will have a spotter in turn 2. You know, one that can see turn 2 here and also turn 3 because that's a pretty prominent passing zone. And then you also generally have one in turn 5 and turn 8. It depends how many people you have available to you. That's the most ideal situation. Obviously, these guys got rear view mirrors, left side mirrors in their car, but on the road courses, it's not always that easy to look into them and be able to see what's happening around you.
Too much to do as a driver here on the 10-turn circuit at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. So the 69 of Dominic Scrivo is loaded up and on the flatbed. We'll take a quick break here in the Clarington 200 on Rev TV.
With a simple search on Get Your Guide, explore new places and local culture with expert guides. Find unique experiences that feel truly worth it and travel with flexibility and peace of mind. Discover your next experience with millions of reviews from other travelers on Get Your Guide.
When it's race day, it's Pinty's Day. Your go-to for Canadian farmed, podium-worthy seasoned chicken wings, pit stop perfect tenders, and so much more. Fueled by flavor, driven by passion, and proudly Canadian. Pinty's.
It's fine. It happens to most guys.
It does. But these days, Canadian guys have Phoenix.ca to connect with a physician about ED treatment plans that may be right for them.
Or hair loss treatment plans. Phoenix makes discussing them convenient as well.
And if this just isn't working for you, you can discuss additional weight loss treatment plans through Phoenix.
And Phoenix delivers discreetly. So maybe it's time. Golf balls.
If you own an RV, you could be making thousands of dollars every month by renting it out on RVZ.com. So while your renters are making memories, you're making money! There's nothing to worry about. So RVZ fully protects your RV with best-in-class insurance. So, all you have to do is not a whole lot. There's money in your driveway when you're not using it. RVZ. Go to RVZ.com today.
A guy like this, who relies on his truck for work, knows that his truck will take care of him if he takes care of his truck. And WeatherTech has always been the ultimate protection. From floor liners to no-drill mud flaps to TechLiner for your truck bed to bump step to the handy under-seat storage system. And Cup Phone keeps phones secure in any cup holder. Order your ultimate protection today at WeatherTech.ca.
Some drivers taking advantage of pit stops as Ryan Vargas pits from the race lead. And so does the 17 Dodge of DJ Kennington. And now here's your leader. So this will be it for pit stops for a lot of the front runners. You've got the 80 of Alex Tagliani, who's down pit lane. He's led a number of laps already today. You saw Kevin Lacroix and Marc-Antoine Cameron also making quick pit stops. So this is really early to get everything done.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And, I guess it's just all these cautions that we had right off the green flag here. Like I mentioned earlier in the show, we usually get a long green flag run to start the race off. And that's not just quite how this one played out. So a lot of guys got their pit stops done early. It's going to create a really aggressive finish to these race because, the field, pretty much everyone's got what they got now. There's no more scheduled stops, no more adjustments being done to the car, and you got to fight for the end here.
And we've still got 31 laps to go, so we're just 20 into this one. At this point, now you've got your general tires. We talked a little bit about saving off the top. How much do you really have to save, and how much does that factor into your mind as a race car driver?
Yeah, absolutely. It's really going to depend on track position here and where these front runners end up in the lineup, because you want to get that track position back early, and you don't want to lose time against those that you're racing against. Like that 80's not going to want the 74 to get too far ahead there, and vice versa. So these guys are going to be fighting hard to get their track position. Maybe once they get back to the front of the pack, we're going to see where we're at. It might be time to save a little bit of tire and make sure you have some general tire left there for the end of the race.
There is your race leader. It is the Curb Records Dark Horse Trailers Ford Mustang of Malcolm Strawn.
Really interesting here. We haven't seen the 87 in the 39 car of Alex Gannett and Sam Fellows make additional pit stops. So they did the first pit stop on the last yellow. They didn't come back in, and they didn't pit under this yellow either. So maybe these guys have just taken fuel so far. Definitely something we'll keep an eye on.
Yeah, and we talked about strategy off the top, and maybe it's playing out for, and Tagliani stopped on
the backstretch
just
here.
The entrance to the Andretti straightaway. So issues on the early race leader of the 80 of Alex Tagliani. The driver from La Chenie, Quebec, is slow down the back straightaway. It doesn't look like he has any fire. He was dropping back, and it looked like he was just trying to find his position as the field was lining back up after those pit stops. But something has happened now, and that car has stopped. So we're back under a full course caution as we're just getting ready to come back to a restart. I was going to point out some of the drivers who are taking advantage of the strategies at play. You have to tip your hat to the driver of the 84, Daryl Timmers from Whitby, Ontario. He's driving with Switch Tire and Keith's Trailer Sales along with Rack.ca. New backing for that driver, new partnership with Larry Jackson driving the 84, and here he is inside the top 10.
Yeah, Larry always brings some beautiful cars to the racetrack, so good to see Daryl Timmers, find his spot with Larry Jackson. He's a good road course racer. He's always here at CTMP, has been the last few years anyways, so he's been building that experience up. We see him take advantage of this strategy here.
Oh, yes. A simple game. All it takes is everything. But when it gives, that's what keeps you coming back.
And we'll see if he's able to hold it come the end of the race here.
Now, there was a race last year that he finished without power steering. I think he ran more than half of it without power steering, and I went to give him a high five at the end of it, and he said, I can't lift my arms. That's how physical this track is.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I'm lucky enough I've never lost power steering at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park or a road course for that manner, but I've lost it on ovals, and I can tell you it's difficult. I can only imagine what it's like losing here at CTMP.
So the cleanup continues. The pushback for the 80 of Alex Tagliani. They'll have to hurry in order to keep him from going a lap down, but it looks like with the field entering turn number 5, the driver who started third, led some laps, is now being pushed back to the paddock area. We'll take a quick break here in the Clarington 200 on Rev TV.
We are a nation built by industry and driven by innovation. Forged with pride and domestically produced with engineered perfection, Leland Industries services agricultural storage needs as well as the commercial and industrial construction industry. Rural and urban contractors rely and depend on Leland Fasteners. North American manufactured with North American steel. Leland Industries, solidly connecting industries around the globe.
Indy Next by Firestone is live on Rev TV. Watch the rising stars of open wheel take on North America's most challenging racetracks. Indy Next by Firestone, the world's leading driver development program, is live on Rev TV, Canada's source for motorsports.
It's fine. It happens to most guys.
It does. But these days, Canadian guys have Phoenix.ca to connect with a physician about ED treatment plans that may be right for them.
Or hair loss treatment plans. Phoenix makes discussing them convenient as well.
And if this just isn't working for you, you can discuss additional weight loss treatment plans through Phoenix.
And Phoenix delivers discreetly. So maybe it's time. Golf balls.
When it's race day, it's Pinty's Day. Your go-to for Canadian farmed podium-worthy seasoned chicken wings, pit stop perfect tenders, and so much more. Fueled by flavor, driven by passion, and proudly Canadian. Pinty's.
The field lined up 2 by 2 as they make their way through turn number 10, and welcome back to the NASCAR Canada Series on Rev TV as they enter the Pinty's restart zone, and we're back underway. Once again, heading for turn number 1. It is Malcolm Strawn and Simon Charbonneau. That one was a little cleaner here through turn number 1 as everybody stays straight. We're still 2 by 2 through much of the field as Alex Gannett battles with the number 87 of Sam Fellows.
Now, these faster guys that are very deep in the field, they got to be careful because you don't want to get caught up battling each other. You want to be single file and just let the guy lead and pass some cars, make some holes for you, and not get caught up in any incidents before you get back to the front of the field here.
One of the big stories of this race has to be the trials and tribulations of some of the heavy hitters. We saw the pole sitter fall out. We saw the third place starter fall out. And that's what happened most recently. Todd, what did go on with the 80 of Alex Tagliani?
He came down pit road slowly as the field returned to green. You see the crew feverishly working to get a new battery to get ready to get into that number 80 car for Alex Tagliani. That's the first fix. If they can get it in and get that car fired, they will send him back out. They do have time before the field gets around here again.
Unfortunately for Tagliani, though, he has already gone 1 lap down to the race leader. And they come through to complete yet another lap as Hurley in a battle there with the 3 car of Jason Hathaway. Hurley from California making his first NASCAR Canada Series start, having a great outing, sitting well up towards the front of the field. As a matter of fact, sitting in 5th spot right now. Yeah, so there you talked about it. Some of the faster drivers who have already made all their pit stops. You've got Andrew Ranger in the 27. You've got Gary Clute in the 59 and the 74 of Kevin Lacroix. They're all nose to tail. The 47 is right there too. So you're right. They're in a hurry to get through this field. They want to get back up to the front.
Now what's interesting here is we saw the 27 come onto pit road first there under green flag with those issues. And he's actually leading this charge here through the field.
For 250 years, America has depended on the courage of those who serve. Wounded Warrior Project honors that past by building better futures for warriors and their families. Visit woundedwarriorproject.org/honor.
of the 74, the 59, the 96. So it might have almost worked out in his favor here. He's able to get one stop done early under green flag, not lose a lap, and it's putting him back into contention.
This manages to get around the 42 of Ryan Clute, and the rest of that field is going to follow him through as the 87 of Sam Fellows. And again, Sam qualified in the top 10 and had a great run in practice. Actually just outside the top 10, but had a great run in, oh no, he was inside the top 10. He qualified in 9th spot, but had a great run in practice yesterday. This car has shown great speed, the Polysleep number 87. And again, all that team needs is just a little bit of luck. They've always had speed.
Absolutely. You know, as long as they play the strategy right here, they've got a really good car. You know, as you mentioned, they keep the luck on their side. Sam will be looking at a really good finish here come the end of the day.
Simon Charbonneau in the 88 was way loose and way outside on the exit of turn 2. So there's a case of two drivers. Sam Fellows tucked up, neatly running, so it tells you how well that car is handling. The 88 might be pushing it a little bit harder just to stay ahead of the 87.
Absolutely. That 87 car of Sam Fellows looks like it's handling really good as we see the 27 make another pass here. So these guys are making really good progress, and luckily it hasn't been too full contact so far. They're keeping it pretty clean, and they're making their way back up to the front of the field.
Ranger really likes that turn 5. That's 2 successive laps and 2 successive Clutes that he's managed to pass, getting around the 6 of Peter Clute as he gets up on the outside, and you're sort of hung out to dry out there on the Andretti straightaway, aren't you?
Yeah, and you know, there is a little bit of draft down the Andretti straightaway, so these guys will try and stay to the right side, have a little bit of draft. We see the 87 here, trying to make another pass here on the number 88. And as we mentioned, you got to be careful when you try to make these passes and when you do, because Sam was unable to make it to his inside into turn 10 there, and he loses a lot of time. So he's got to get that position back and try to put himself in another position to pass the 88.
You see the 24 of Josh Hurley, again making his first start. He's got the rookie stripe on the back. He was the highest qualifying rookie, as once again the 88 goes way on the outside, and he forces the 87 to the outside in turn number 3, nearly making contact with the AER 87 of Sam Fellows. But Fellows was just trying to keep out of the way, and Simon Charbonneau muscled his way back into the racing line in the Transgestion. Number 88, Chevy Camaro, now a little bit of contact as Ranger goes back to work in the 27.
That 27 looks like it's handling really good. He's making really great progress here. The 59 staying in tow of Gary Clute to 74 of Kevin Lacroix. He's lost a couple, you know, he hasn't been tucked right up underneath the 59 and 27, who are making some really good progress. But as we see, the 27 is really fast.
Yeah, it looks like Marc-Antoine Cameron will make his way around the number 74 of Kevin Lacroix, possibly. Lacroix is known to hang it on the outside of turn number 8, and he does just that as they go side by side. Now the 74 will get by the 6 of Peter Clute as you see the cross flags, and we hit the Tiffany Gate midway update, and problems for the 74 of Kevin Lacroix and the 42 of Ryan Clute. So damage to Peter Clute. Ryan Clute's in the wall, and the 74 of Kevin Lacroix is slow to get going.
We saw it getting a little aggressive there into turn 9, and looks like they made some contact through turn 10. The 42 is going to get it back going. We might not have to have a full course caution here.
Grass is a little slick from earlier wet weather that passed through here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. So once you get on that grass, it's difficult to get stopped, and it doesn't look like Clute made a big hit to that tire wall in turn number 8, but definitely will slow the progress of the number 74 of Kevin Lacroix. What a turn of events.
No, and this created a lot of separation too here. We had a lot of cars all bundled up here. Now we see the 27 again past Josh Hurley. Gary Clute really close behind, but now we're really separated here, all single file. This is really where we get into a rhythm.
Yeah, probably the best news is we avoided a full course caution as Clute was able to back away and get moving once again. He's not one to run the full NASCAR Canada Series points, so just out for race wins. And taking a look at the tire wall in turn 10, as this is where the 87 of Sam Fellows will complete that pass, and he's going to say, finally, around the 88.
And the spotters may have been telling Sam Fellows, you know, the 27's coming, the 59's coming, you got to get going here. So we saw Sam try and make a couple passes on different instances on the 88 there, wasn't able to get it done, but finally makes it happen.
Here comes the legendary motor car number 6 of Peter Kloot down pit lane. You can see the fiberglass dangling. The hood is all broken. The nose is nearly torn off as Kloot will see the attention of his crew, and they're in no hurry. Again, Peter Kloot, not one to run for points. You don't necessarily have to think about getting out there very quickly.
Absolutely. You know, it's a little bit of cosmetic damage there. He might, the steering wheel might be off a little bit, which may hurt his chances of getting back on the track there, but he may also be just saying, guys, that's going to be a day for us.
And while we've been talking about all of this, Malcolm Strawn has built up a bit of a lead on the 36 of Alex Gannett, and he has been clicking off laps at the front of the field. Malcolm Strawn is a super talented road race driver, and he's got the 39 of Alex Gannett in behind him. But it is a bit of a surprise to see that Ford Mustang at the front of the field for this long.
Absolutely, and the 98 and the 39 car have really created a lot of separation back to third place Sam Fellows. And the 27 goes to work here on the 88 of Simon Charbonneau, but it's going to be a long way ahead for these guys to catch the 98 car and the 39 car if we don't get another caution.
It's almost 4 seconds between Sam Fellows and Alex Gannett, and we talked about new sponsors and new situations. Alex Gannett out of Terrebonne, Quebec, has done just that, driving the 39 with BetGRW on board. It's a new livery, and he's very excited about the races he's going to do. All 5 road and street circuits, and then a couple of the Quebec ovals as well. So he'll be in the mix for all of them. He can guarantee that.
We'll see Andrew Ranger here. He's probably going to make another move into turn 5. This seems to be his spot.
Watches Charbonneau slide out in turn 4, and there goes the 27 GM Paillet Chevrolet. Look at that. Just a neat pass, as Andrew Ranger has done time and time before. Gary Kloot has closed the gap, and watch, he'll try and catch a draft. No, he's not going to. He's not going to wait. Just get a run up on the outside, and Gary Kloot has done this before. He'll try and stick it on the outside of turn number 8. Will he have that momentum? And they will have to go side by side. Oh, he cut down just in front, and had to thank the 88 for getting hard on the brakes in that one.
Absolutely. The 88 might have cut him a little bit of a break there, but no, great pass by the 59 car of Gary Kloot.
So as the GM Paillet number 27 continues his march to the front, let's head down pit side, check in with Todd, who's standing by in his pit stall. Todd, what was the fix on this one?
He is tearing through the field right now, as you guys have been documented, having himself a great run. The team, though, is a little bit concerned about the tire wear and how much he may have for the end of this race. That's the concern right now for Andrew Ranger. Cruising through the field, showing lots of speed. What if we have a late caution and there's a restart and there's a big FUD? That's what we're going to have to wait and see if Andrew Ranger can maintain that pace.
Looks like heavy smoke now. That is the 42 of Ryan Kloot. So he did have that contact with the tire wall in turn number 10. So that is not new damage on the legendary motor car number 42 of Ryan Kloot. But obviously, as the speeds pick up, he's starting to see some more smoke. So likely see that 42 back down pit lane. If you're just rejoining us after catching the start of this race, we can tell you the pole sitters, Kyle Steckley is out of this one in the Sierra Excavating number 22. Motor problems on that one, and the 80 of Alexander Tagliani, who started in 3rd spot, is currently in 23rd, albeit 3 laps down, and it looks like electrical gremlins on that car, a change of battery. So has fixed the issue, it seems to have. Anyway, he's back out there. It's the 88 of Simon Charbonneau. This is going to be a pit stop under green. After Charbonneau was hustling that Chevy Camaro up inside the top 5, he started to lose some positions, and the crew saying now would be a good time to maybe come down pit lane and grab your fuel. So he should be able to make it the distance after pitting on this lap. And he'll join the fray, but look at this towards the front of the field. You have the 87 of Sam Fellows in third spot, just ahead of the 27 of Andrew Ranger and the 59 of Gary Clute.
In the 59 of Gary Clute here has been playing this really smart. You know, as I mentioned, you don't want to end up battling when you're deep in the field there, and he didn't. He followed the 27. The 27's been making some great holes for him. He's able to clear the 87 here of Sam Fellows and keep charging on. But you know, the 59, his main goal here is to keep the 27 in his view, not let him get too far out front. And when it comes down to battle for the win, he's going to be right there.
Did you see that flex from the 59? The Autologic Dodge has some steam under the hood. He was able to just pull out and pass the 87 down the Andretti straightaway, tuck back in line even before they hit turn 8.
Yeah, no, the number 59, Gary Clute, is really fast. It doesn't look like he's working too hard to try and keep the 27 too close to him, but he's right there. He's probably saving some tire. As we heard Todd mention, the 27 seems a little worried about tire wear. 59 saving those general tires, and he's going to be right there when it comes down to battle for the win here.
You saw the 2 leaders flash through on the bottom of your screen. The Curb Records number 98 of Malcolm Strawn is ahead of the 39 of Alex Gannett, and they have about a 5.7 second gap on the 27 of Andrew Ranger, Clute, Fellows, Cameron, Josh Hurley, the rookie, Jason Hathaway having a great run in the 3 car, LP Dumoulin and DJ Kennington rounds out the top 10. And the thing about the 9th and 10th place runners right now, they started at the back of the pack for changes after qualifying.
DJ and LP have been marching through the field very well. As we see the 59 car here, he's still fresh in the 27, but notice how he's not pulling out there to make the pass. He had the momentum to pull out and make that pass, but he doesn't want to get caught battling. As you mentioned here, they are 5 seconds away from Malcolm Strawn leading and Alex Gannett in second place there, so they can't get caught battling. This is going to be a tough gap to close in 19 laps here without a caution.
And the field is very well sorted right now. It's all single file. There's not a lot of tight battling. We saw some cautions fly because of contact earlier on, especially on restarts, but now the field starts to get spread out just a little bit. And this is reminiscent of the first win for Alex Gannett when he won at the Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières. He got out in front in a little pack, and they stretched a big gap on the rest of the field, and he just hung on. It went green for the rest of the way. He hung on and took his first and only victory here in the NASCAR Canada Series. So this is very reminiscent of that if we start to get a long green flag stretch.
Absolutely, and we're watching lap times here. In the 98 of Malcolm Strawn, he's running 124.7s, Andrew Ranger 124.3s, and Gary Clute's right there in the 124.3s too. So they're only about 0.4 quicker right now than your leader. And as I mentioned, that is going to be a really tough gap to close. And we're not guaranteed any cautions here. The field's pretty spread out. We're not seeing a whole lot of aggression. But we could see a mechanical failure, could bring out a yellow. But as I mentioned, the 27 to 59 are going to have to work really hard to close this gap.
Cameron down in the 123.6 as well for his last lap time. So again, keeping pace with the 27 and the 59, but track position is going to be a big factor. And also Kevin Lacroix, after that incident in turn number 10, currently running in 11th position. So there was a threat for a win early on in this race, made a little contact, and he's now hoping and praying that he can get a late race caution with 18 laps to go. So 51 laps, the entire race distance. We have seen pit stops play out in the typical pit stop window between lap 12 and lap 15. A couple opportunities and early race cautions for these drivers to make their pit stops to get their service. And the 27 of Andrew Ranger has marched up through the field after making an unscheduled pit stop early in the going. But again, that's a story we're going to be watching. Did he take fuel too early? Did he take tires too early? Will it hang on to the end? But how about Malcolm Strawn, the Curb Records number 98, out in front down the Andretti straightaway?
Now, Andrew Ranger was only about a 10th faster than Malcolm Strawn that last lap. So this isn't a time he can't save anything. He's got to have it all out on the table right now because he can't count on a yellow. And he's really got to be turning some good laps.
Talked about the issue that the 74 of Kevin Lacroix was involved in. Another one of those drivers who suffered significant damage is Peter Clute, the driver of the 6, and he's standing by with our Todd Lewis. Todd?
Peter, you were having a pretty good fight out there with the 74 among others. What's put you behind the wall here?
I don't know. We had a couple of issues, and two, I was like a pinball, went down, came back a little bit. And the last one, coming around 9, I got pushed around a little bit, and then looks like he checked up trying to make the corner, and I got in the back of him.
Unfortunate to see you out. We'll see you back here for CTMP in the fall, right? Okay, all right. We're going to keep going. We're going to walk down because Dominic Scrivo, who was also out of this race a little bit earlier, has also found his way back into the paddock areas. They're just packing up his car and that of the 22 of Kyle Steckley. And Dom, unfortunately, it's 2 for 2 for MBS Motorsports. Kyle went out and now you.
Yeah, it's terrible. Not a good day.
No.
In turn 1 there, 2 cars went off, and then the third car was rolling back, so I was going to go around him, and then he must have fired up or something, and then, made contact.
Tough day for Dominic. Both the MBS cars out of this one here at CTMP, but we will see them both back here again in the fall.
Tough break indeed as the 59 of Gary Clue, the Autologic. Number 59 Dodge does manage to go around, and there is that horsepower that seems to be propelling the 59. Sometimes it's not horsepower, it's just a good handling race car.
Yeah, and you can get a little bit of draft on that backstretch too, but the 59 car was being put in a tough position because he didn't want to get caught battling with the 27, but at the same time, it didn't quite seem like the 27's pace was fast enough, and it seemed like that 59 car was a little bit better. So, luckily he was able to make a really quick pass there, not lose too much time, and is able to start running down the 98 car.
David Thorndike, one of the cool stories of the NASCAR Canada Series, runs here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, and looks like some issues under the hood of the 67 as he gets some service done. We'll take a quick break and bring you back with more here on Rev TV.
This NASCAR Canada broadcast is brought to you in part by WeatherTech. Find your fit online at weathertech.ca.
It's fine. It happens to most guys.
It does. But these days, Canadian guys have Phoenix.ca to connect with a physician about ED treatment plans that may be right for them.
Or hair loss treatment plans. Phoenix makes them convenient as well.
And if this just isn't working for you, you can discuss additional weight loss treatment plans through Phoenix.
And Phoenix delivers discreetly. So maybe it's time. Golf balls.
NASCAR Canada is brought to you in part by Pinty's, proudly Canadian.
Canadian Tire Motorsport Park opened in 1961 and has hosted events from NASCAR to IMSA, sports cars, and Superbikes, but today it is the host of the NASCAR Canada Series and the Clarington 200. I'm Dave Bradley. Joined with me in the booth is Trayton Lapsevich, the 2023 champion of the NASCAR Canada Series. And once again, this place doesn't disappoint. We're being treated to an eventful race.
Absolutely. A lot of cautions there earlier in the race, but able to stretch our legs a little bit, and we're kind of seeing these guys rise to the top, the fast guys. The 96 made his way by 27 when we were under break there. Marc-Antoine Cameron's got a quick car. He's setting down some blistering laps, a 1:23.7 last time around. So the 59, definitely a good move to get by that 27. He was definitely losing some grip there. And then the 59 and the 96, I think, are going to be the ones to watch here as they try to run down Malcolm Strawn and Alex Gannett.
Robin McCluskey is the crew chief for the 96, Marc-Antoine Cameron. And no doubt as he flashes by the front straightaway, he would open the mic to the radio of his driver and say, now is the time to go. We've got to pick it up. We've got to get going as Malcolm Strawn continues to click off laps here at the front of the field. The Dark Horse Trailers Curb Records. Number 98 is sliding his way through turn number 1 as he works his way into lap traffic. His teammate in front of him in Brett Weller, the 81, will go way to the outside in turn 2.
That's a tough place to catch lap traffic. Definitely don't want to lose too much time, especially at this point in the race. They can't afford to lose any time because that 96 and the 59 are coming really fast.
So now you can see the top two cars. They're in clean air. They are starting to move around a little bit more. Is it just the temperature of the General tires that would do that to these cars, or are they begging for new ones?
Yeah, they're definitely begging for new ones at this point. This has been a really long green flag run. You can see these guys starting to slip around quite a bit. And that's what I noticed. The 39 car of Alex Gannett, we've seen him actually close that gap to the 98 car of Malcolm Strawn. It looks like that car is handling a little bit better. The 98 of Malcolm Strawn, his line's starting to get a little bit wider. He's starting to slide around a bit. That 39 is going to look to make a quick pass because I guarantee you his crew chief and spotter on the radio saying 96 and 59 are coming. We got to go.
14 laps to go. They'll be 13 when they cross the stripe this time out of turn number 10 and onto the front straightaway. And there you do see a little bit of a wiggle as the field comes through and gets around the 81 of Brett Weller. The 59 of Gary Clute and the 96 managed to get around in turn number 10. Now it looks like the 27 of Andrew Ranger is dropping off just a little bit, unable to keep the pace as it had a little bit earlier on in this long green flag run.
Yeah, and the 74 of Kevin Lacroix here, he's made his way back up to 6th position after that contact in turn 10. So if we get a caution, it's going to be really interesting. Unfortunately, without a caution, it looks like probably the best he could get up to would be that 5th position. But that 74's got some speed. A late race caution's not out of the question at all, and it could get exciting.
Yeah, late race caution would eliminate the 11 seconds that he has to make up to try and catch the race leader. And there you see Malcolm Strawn sliding it on exit of turn number 5, and that will affect his run down this straightaway. You have to be tidy as you get off of turn number 5.
Yeah, you got to be very careful with what you do off with 5B because you need that good launch down the backstretch. It was interesting though, the 98 looked like he slid a lot through 5B, but he actually got a pretty good gap on the 39 car.
Now it is the 96 GM Paillet Chevrolet of Marc-Antoine Cameron, your defending series champion, as he puts on some pressure of the Autologic number 59 of Gary Clute. Clute has been so quick though on this longer green flag run, and he has been leading the charge to try and close the gap, and it is getting a little bit smaller. It's now 3.3 seconds as he drives it hard off of turn number 1, manages to catch a little bit of grass even, as Gary Clute is pushing with 12 laps to go.
Absolutely, and what I notice here is the 59 and the 96 are very evenly matched right now. They're putting down some very similar lap times, about the 124.2s, 124.3s, and they're about 4 to 5 tenths quicker than that 98 and 39. So they're going to get there, and it's the same thing. They don't want to get caught battling because they know it's going to be tight, but that 96 is going to want to get that track position on the 59 if he has an opportunity to.
We talked about how tight it was getting at the front, and now all of a sudden it is not. The 39 of Alex Gannett is dropping back just a little bit and soon to be in the clutches of the 59 of Gary Clute and the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron. And Todd is standing by pit side with an update on the driver of the 96. Todd? We'll catch up to Todd.
A little update on the strategy that the 96 is playing out. Just checked in with crew chief Robin McCluskey. He said that Mark is happy with the car. It's a little bit loose. He did make a change before qualifying yesterday and felt much better in the car. Thought they might have a little more speed in qualifying. It wasn't there, but the car is good. Mark is just holding up a little bit, saving a little bit for the end of this race. As the laps tick down, he'll start to push a little bit harder, but maybe there's another little tenth or two in that car for Marc-Antoine Cameron to chase down the leaders.
Better start pushing soon. We're coming up on 10 to go, and this is a good battle towards the back half of the top 10. A couple of grizzled veterans, former champions in the NASCAR Canada Series. The Leland number 3 of Jason Hathaway and the Castrol Dodge of DJ Kennington. And I've been around long enough when we used to call him the Castrol Kid. DJ Kennington has Castrol kids of his own now, but he is a very talented driver as he ducks underneath the smoking number 3 of Jason Hathaway. Hathaway just lighting up that right front tire.
Yeah, it looked like the 17 of DJ Kennington really got in the mirror of the 3 car of Jason Hathaway, had him looking, because turn 3 is a really good passing zone, and it just caused the 3 to lock up those brakes a little bit, and the 17 took advantage. Forced him into a little bit of a mistake there.
Hathaway getting some help this weekend from Sanction Brakes, the 3 car with Leland support this year as well. Hathaway hoping to do as many events as he can. And of course, DJ Kennington with a brand new livery on that Castrol Edge Dodge, and a sharp looking race car that one is, as everybody continues to chase the Jim Bray owned number 98 of Malcolm Strawn. What a story playing out here in the Clarington 200.
I can guarantee you, no matter how this race ends up, there's going to be some smiling faces in the pit of that 98 car. This is a great run for the 98 team. Great run for Jim Bray. You know, as I mentioned earlier, a guy who's been supporting this sport in this series for so long. Just love to see it.
And the crew members in the Jim Bray pit, I think, are collectively all over 60 years old. They all do it on a volunteer basis. They do it because they love motorsports. They love the NASCAR Canada Series. And Malcolm Strawn giving that car a very good ride. But look who is coming. The 59 of Gary Clute has managed to catch that bent GRW number 39 of Alex Gannett. And he will tuck in. He'll have the draft now down the Andretti straightaway, but so will Marc-Antoine Cameron.
It looks like the tire advantage is really starting to pay off now. The 98 and the 39 car, these tires kind of just get to a ceiling, and at that point, they just start falling off. You know, you just don't have that grip that you had when they were brand new. So that's really starting to show now. The 59 and the 96, their cars are looking really good. They're still turning some blistering lap times.
But they have to make their way through traffic and some contact there. The 59 on the 39. What a save from Alex Gannett in the middle between turn 9 and turn number 10 as Gary Clute pulled out to pass and didn't realize the run he had caught the back bumper of the 39. Gannett had to do a lot of pedaling and a lot of steering on that one.
Yeah, even after the contact, the 59 was still able to get a couple car lengths on that 96 car of Marc-Antoine Cameron. As he goes and chases down that 98 of Malcolm Strawn.
You saw the 85 of Larry Jackson, a little bit slower on the racetrack, but the engine's still running on the rack.ca. Have another look at this.
Wow. Great save by the 39 car.
Just caught him at the wrong time. And again, that's a good place to pull out. You just have to use that momentum. You need a little bit of extra distance in between. There is the 3 of Jason Hathaway, currently in 10th spot, behind the 17 of DJ Kennington. So there's your race leader, the red nose with the flames, the Ford Mustang. It flies by. Second place is Gary Clute, AutoLogic, brand new sponsor on board this year. And the GM Paye, number 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron, your defending series champion. As Clute and Cameron have managed to get around the 39 of Alex Gannett, who is still having a great run, sitting inside the top 5. He'll be happy with this one.
Absolutely. That 59 car is looking really strong through turn 8, 9, 10. He's able to build up a little bit of gap on the 96. I feel like the 96 must be a little bit better through turn 4 and 5. As most of the time he comes out of 5B, about right on the bumper of that 59 car. But, you know, there's no doubt that 59 car is good in the spots of the tracks where you need to be good when it comes down to the end of this race.
We talked about other drivers who may play a factor in this one with 8 laps to go. It's looking less and less likely. The 27 of Andrew Ranger in 5th spot, but he's 7 seconds further back, 10 seconds back for Kevin Lacroix, LP Dumoulin, Josh Hurley, the rookie, having a great run in the top 10, sitting in 8th, and DJ Kennington, Jason Hathaway round out your top 10. You can find out where your favorite driver is running. Just have a look at the ticker across the top of your screen.
59 car of Gary Clute gets a really good launch off of 5B, and that really propels him down the whole back straightaway. We touched on that earlier. If you don't get a good drive off turn 5, that could kill you for a really big part of this track. There's a lot of momentum to be taken down the Mario Andretti back straightaway here, and he's able to use it through turn 8. He's closing on that 98 really fast.
Yeah, he's reeling him in big time, and again, a little wiggle out of the 98 through turn number 8. And eases it in. He's just not able to drive it in quite as hard as Gary Clute and Marc-Antoine Cameron is the 98 of Malcolm Strawn. He has done a very good job leading a ton of laps here in the Clarington 200.
And as those cars get a little bit bigger in his rearview mirror, it might be causing him to overdrive the car just a little bit. And you know, when these tires get old, they don't want to be overdriven like that, as we see him go really wide off of turn 2.
Here comes Cameron taking a look. Turn number 3, and no contact, but he was right there up alongside the right rear fender of the 59 of Gary Clute. He took a look and then backed out. So this is going to be something that could play into Malcolm Strawn leading longer as well. If these two start to battle, Strawn will be able to increase that gap once again.
Absolutely, and I think the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron really realized that they're catching the 98 car with still quite a bit of time left. You know, they're going to have about 7 laps here. So when he gets these runs on the 59 car now, there's no doubt he's going to take them.
Into the draft goes Gary Clute. He's done this before, up on the outside, heading towards turn number 8. Is he there enough?
Wow.
He is, and a new race leader, the Autologic number 59 of Gary Clute, goes to top spot. Cameron couldn't get through. He's going to be boxed in behind the 98. A little bump to loosen him up into 10. Strawn slams the door.
Wow, what a pass there for the 59 Gary Clute. Marc-Antoine Cameron wasn't able to follow him through, so he's going to build up a really big advantage here as the 96 car still struggles to get by that 98 of Malcolm Strawn.
Strawn, big time crooked in turn number 1. That's going to affect his drive between 1 and 2, but how about that move to hold off the defending series champion? Strawn saw that he lost the race lead. He wasn't about to lose second spot in successive corners as he absolutely closed the door on the nose of the GM Paille number 96. But Gary Clute out in front, and if Marc-Antoine Cameron wants to keep pace, he's going to have to get by the 98. Now he does it on the outside of 4.
That's a scary place to make a pass on the outside of turn 4 there, but the 96 is able to make it stick, and he'll start trying to chase down that 59 car. We saw him as they were catching the 98 and the 39 earlier here. They're pretty evenly matched, so it's going to be tough for the 96 car to get there, but you know, who knows? Maybe he was saving a little bit of tire as he was riding behind the 59.
You can hear the cars sing down the Mario Andretti straightaway. There will be 5 laps to go, this time under the flag stand for Gary Clute, your race leader. Again, didn't have the qualifying run that many thought was in that 59 car. The driver from Halton Hills only qualifying in 6th spot. He's a previous track record holder, so that was a bit of a question mark. What's going on with Gary Clute? It appears as though absolutely nothing.
You know, and I was talking to Gary quite a bit this past week, and you know, he was always excited about how great his qualifying speed is. You know, able to make it out there on the pole, but he was saying he just, you know, struggled to finish the deal since 2015 when he was able to grab his first win here and his only NASCAR Canada Series win so far. But this year, it looks like he's really got that race pace. The strategy kind of all worked out into his favor, and he's got the lead as we come into 5 laps to go here.
Malcolm Strawn currently running 3rd. His best finish at this track was 9th place in 2018 in the fall race, so he is poised to reach a career best here in the Clarington 200. He's got a bit of a gap now on the 4th place driver. It continues to be Alex Gannett. Andrew Ranger rounding out the top 5, and our top rookie Josh Hurley is in 9th spot. Danny Chisholm in 11th, and Ryan Vargas in 12th. So those 2 drivers having a great run here and there. For Ryan Vargas, it's his first visit to Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Danny Chisholm had one last year, but didn't necessarily go his way. Not as good as this one anyway, sitting just outside the top 10.
And as they cross by the finish line here, we'll take a look at the lap times. The 59 of Gary Clute runs a 1:23.9, and Marc-Antoine Cameron runs a 1:23.7. It's about an 8/10 gap here as we have the 81 car off in turn 5.
Oh, is he going to beach it? He does.
Oh, wow.
Brett Weller gets stuck in the gravel trap in turn number 5 with 4 laps to go. Oh, wait, he's going. Will this be a full course caution? He's got to get moving, and he's going to gas it up. The 81 manages to get going. He's going to throw some gravel down on the outside of that track, but boy, that was close to a full course caution.
Great job by the 81 car, able to get that thing back going out of the gravel trap there. I didn't think he was going to get it going, but it's great, and Rail will stay green here.
And look, that is your battle for the lead coming onto the Andretti straightaway. Cameron has caught the back end of Clute. He is in the draft as they head towards turn number 8, nose to tail. When they cross the stripe, there will be 3 laps to go here in the Clarington 200 you're watching it live on Rev TV.
The 59 car gets through turn 8, 9, 10 so good, and he's able to get a little bit of gap here, but that 96 car is fast.
Marc-Antoine Cameron just attacks that turn 10 so much harder out of turn number 9. So that presents a passing opportunity. And we know from history as he locks up the right front tire, and Cameron almost goes around. He was on the inside apron in turn number 1. Oh, he'll be kicking himself for that one. So you saw the right front lockup on the 96 of Cameron, and then Clute got caught into the lap traffic. So that gap that he was able to build up by the mistake from the driver, the GM Pie number 96, is now gone because he caught that lap car at the wrong time.
Yeah, it's really tough catching that lap car in turn 2 there, as the 96 is just so good through turn 4. He's able to get right on the bumper as he looks to the inside. A little bit of contact there. The 59 of Gary Clute's able to hold him off, and he's going to be a little defensive here down this straightaway. The 96 is going to get a good draft, probably try to look to the inside here in turn 8, but the 59 still able to hold him off here. Really good drive there.
There are some lap cars on the same straightaway. Alex Tagliani 3 laps down to your race leader. Glenn Stiers is still at the back end of the lead lap. He's actually having a pretty good run, sitting in 17th position, the driver of the GSR number 0, but this is the battle for the race lead. The 96, Cameron, again, didn't quite get the run he needed into turn number 10. Turn 1 is where he almost lost it a lap ago.
And you see just how loose that 96 car is. He is sliding around, and loose is fast, as they say, but you get a little bit too out of control, you make some mistakes and lose some time. But that 96 car, he's coming.
Time is not on his side. Just 2 to go, and now into the lap traffic as Stiers will see the 59 of Gary Clute pull to the outside. Clute has to use the curbing and maybe made some contact with the 0 as they made their way through turn number 3. Oh boy, every variable coming to play here, and now Cameron dives to the inside. The exit of turn number 4, they make contact. Turn 5 as Clute hangs on to it as he came back to claim his race line in the AutoLogic number 59. Clute will lead them down the back straightaway once again.
It looked like the 96 car just gave the 59 a little bit of bump through turn 4 there. That's a scary place to get a bump, but the 59 was able to keep it under control.
The car is so light there because you're coming downhill and all of the weight unloaded as they work their way through turn number 8. Both of them wiggle hard under braking. These drivers pushing their cars as hard as they possibly can. A Dodge out in front, a Chevrolet in second. Banging off the curbs is Marc-Antoine Cameron, trying to get that run out of turn number 10, and again a little slide as we see the white flag.
Generally that winning move is in turn 10, but the 59 car has been better at the end of the straightaway. He's been better through turns 8, 9, and 10, able to build up a little bit of a gap. The 96 we've seen he's been better through turn 4, been better through turn 5, and he's noticed that, so that's where he's going to try and make his move.
Gary Clute will be joining us in the broadcast booth on select occasions over the course of the season in 2025. But will he be able to hold off a hard-charging 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron?
Off the track.
A big bump and a slide into the grass for the 59 of Gary Clute. He managed to hang on to it. Your new race leader is the defending series champion, the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron.
Cameron was just so much better through turn 2 there, was able to close that gap. And he took advantage there. I think he saw a little bit of a hole open up. I think the 59 was just arcing the corner. He made a little bit of contact, scoots the 59 of Gary Clute off the track.
Clute has managed to hang on to second. Still in third spot is the number 98 of Malcolm Strawn, but Clute just too far back to make that move. After leading so many laps here in the late going, the 96 uses a bump in the middle of turn number 3. Gets the 59 loose and onto the front straightaway. Win number 1 in the 2025 season for the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron. Gary Clute comes home second in a career best finish for the driver of the 98, Malcolm Strawn, and what a run for the Jim Bray Auto Sport team, coming home in third, but the win belongs to this team and the driver, Marc-Antoine Cameron. What a run and what a finish. This place never disappoints.
No, never. And, I think this is how many in the last couple of years that have ended with a pass on the last lap. A great race by the 96 team and a great battle, too, with the 59 car. That 59 was fast. The 96 was good. They both had their strengths. They both played the strategy right way and both up at the front when it came down to it.
The beauty of it, we'll be able to hear from your race winner and second place as well. Both sides of the story and how this race played out. But the race winner, the 96, Marc-Antoine Cameron, and here's a look at that pass once again. Oh, barely.
Looks like the 96 just gets in a little bit deep. We saw him smoke the tires there, lock up the brakes, gets in the 59 just a little bit, but that's a tough spot too. Your car does get a little bit light into turn 3 there. It's a heavy braking zone, probably one of the heaviest braking zones on the track other than turn 5. But just a little bit of a tap there.
What a wheel job by the 59 to hang on to it. So as the drivers make their way back to the paddock area, we're going to take a break here from Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. You're watching the NASCAR Canada Series on Rev TV.
There's the guy who said his trade-in was in perfect condition.
Well, what do you think?
Well, let's see here. It looks pretty nice on the outside. Oh, got a teeny tiny scratch right there, and whoa, game changer. You didn't tell me that you had WeatherTech floor liners?
Of course. I also have the cargo liner and seat protector.
I mean, the carpet looks brand new.
So what do you think of my trade-in now?
It just went up, way up.
Thought so.
Protect your investment. Order your ultimate protection today at weathertech.ca.
If you own an RV, you could be making thousands of dollars every month by renting it out on RVZ.com. While your renters are making memories, you're making money. If you're not using it, RVZ is. Go to RVZ.com today.
It's fine. It happens to most guys.
It does. But these days, Canadian guys have Phoenix.ca to connect with a physician about ED treatment plans that may be right for them.
Or hair loss treatment plans. Phoenix makes discussing them convenient as well.
And if this just isn't working for you, you can discuss additional weight loss treatment plans through Phoenix.
And Phoenix delivers discreetly. So maybe it's time. Golf balls.
We are a nation built by industry and driven by innovation. Forged with pride and domestically produced with engineered perfection, Leland Industries services agricultural storage needs as well as the commercial and industrial construction industry. Rural and urban contractors rely and depend on Leland Fasteners. North American manufactured with North American steel. Leland Industries, solidly connecting industries around the globe.
When it's race day, it's Pinty's Day. Your go-to for Canadian farmed podium-worthy seasoned chicken wings, pit stop perfect tenders, and so much more. Fueled by flavor, driven by passion, and proudly Canadian. Pinty's.
29 times the NASCAR Canada Series has visited Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, and 29 times we have been treated to an absolute delightful race, including this one, although it will have controversy surrounding the finish because of that contact between the 96 and the 59, but you almost knew it was coming.
Yeah, we're not surprised to see that at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park now, right? Yeah, the 96, we knew where the strength of his car was. He was so much better through turn 2, 3, 4, and 5, and that's where we knew he needed to make his move because that 59 car was good at the end of the back straightaway here. So, we're not surprised to see some contact in these things. The 96 has been on the receiving end of it before. Don't ask me how I know, but right. But no, it's definitely a great finish.
Yeah, usually you see the contact at the end of the race in turn number 10, sort of a last-ditch effort, right, to reach victory lane. But in this case, it was the 59, as you mentioned, who was so much quicker through that complex. So Cameron would have known that, and he would just put it in the mental bank saying, I'm good here. This is where I have to make my move.
Absolutely, and it's going to be so disappointing for the 59 car of Gary Clute too because, as we mentioned, he's had really good speed here in the past, qualifying on pole many times, but just not really able to put the race together since 2015. So it's been a while, and this looked like it was going to be one for him. He had a lot of speed, was able to get that track position, get out to the lead first, make his way through the field really good. So it's going to be disappointing for sure. Not really, there's nothing he could have done there, right?
No.
He was driving the car for all it had, pushing those General tires to the absolute limit in the 96, just ever so slight contact into turn 3. Was able to push the 59 car off. And, as you mentioned, the 59 car did a great job of saving it.
Yeah, and good news for the Gary Clute team and John Fletcher Jr., who is his crew chief. They know they have speed in that car. They'll come back here to Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, expected to do several other road and street circuits around the 2025 schedule. So they know they have a good piece. They can work on it now. They're not bringing it home in a box, which is a tribute to the driver because he had to do some lawn mowing up there in turn number 3.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to hear from Gary here, just to kind of know where his mind's at. But he'll put this in the mental bank. This isn't the last time he's going to race against the 96 car this year. you know, and we'll see what happens.
Are you saying drivers have memories?
Drivers have memories, absolutely. So he's going to put that in the memory bank, and, you know, we'll see what happens. That 59 car, he's always fast when we come to see Tempe. He's always fast any road course we go to, and I know he's got 5 or 6 races planned this year, so it's going to be interesting to see how this develops. But we're leaving the first race of the year with a really good storyline for sure.
Absolutely. We saw the strategy play out, too, for the number 98 of Malcolm Strawn, but he's pulling into victory lane now, as the group of photographers have gathered there in the Pinty's victory lane. Marc-Antoine Cameron with that classic helmet style he's had since he raced in open wheel cars before even getting involved in the NASCAR Canada Series. He hasn't changed his design of the helmet he wears, and that helmet is going to come off very, very shortly, and you'll hear the eruption of the crowd in victory lane as Cameron set to jump out. No doubt a little bit tired after that long green flag run, but any sense of exhaustion is going to be evaporated here in victory lane in just 1 second. But as he hops out, the winner of the Clarington 200, Marc-Antoine Cameron, and we'll send it down to victory lane with Todd Lewis.
Mark gives an appreciative thump on the top of that number 96. He's going to step out with the checkered flag, smile on his face. You really had to work for that one. You had to fight your way back towards the front, and then you really had to fight to take that top spot.
Yeah, today was a really team effort. What a great race we have. We struggled a little bit on the first pit stop with the 2 right tire, but I managed the car. I was a bit quicker than Gary at the end, 59. I just barely touched him. He opened me the door on corner 3, and I just hit him just a little bit, and I was it for a win. What a great finish for the Paillet Coast Racing car 96. Really proud of the guy.
Your team did a lot of work in the off-season preparing cars to be ready, because as good as you were last year, the competition continues to get tougher.
Oh, definitely. We have to keep pushing, keep involving car, and pushing hard during the off-season to keep the 96 on top.
Marc-Antoine Cameron, victory number 1 in 2025.
Here comes team owner Paillet. Team owner J.C. Paillet jumping in for a big hug. There is crew chief Robin McCluskey congratulating his driver. Did a masterful job here today, and the smiles abound in victory lane. But you want to talk about some of the other storylines that we might have missed because the action was so good at the front of the field. Andrew Ranger made that run up towards the front of the field. That car fell off just a little bit, but look at LP Dumoulin. He started at the back in the 47.
Absolutely great run for him there. DJ Kennington up in P7 as well. We mentioned that at the start of the race. You know, DJ always starts a little bit further back, but he makes his way up there.
Jason Hathaway and Danny Chisholm, 2 of the cars prepared out of the EHR shop. Both of them coming home in one piece, both of them inside the top 10. Great run for a veteran and a youngster.
Absolutely great run for Danny Chisholm, starting at the back there, you know, after he had those troubles in qualifying. So, you know, it's always really refreshing to end up with the top 10.
Josh Hurley coming home in 11th spot, Ryan Vargas in the 28, and then Daryl Timmers, again, that new deal with Larry Jackson Racing in the 84. He comes home in 13th spot, but the driver who nearly had it by this much is standing by with Todd Lewis. Todd?
Gary, it's another runner-up position. You're trying to muster a smile, but I know you're frustrated.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, the guys did a great job. For starters, I can't thank Autologic enough, Hoffman Plastics. You know, they're the guys that make this possible. So good to get out to Canadian Tire Motorsport Park and run around this track and, you know, try and win one. Yeah, we had a great race. Like, I think, you know, pit stops were great. John on the box made great calls. Boys did great pit stops, perfectly executed. We were running around with Ranger there, just saving our tires. And then, you know, John said, all right, go for it. And then we, you know, ran him down, got the lead. You know, I knew Cameron was a little bit quicker than us, but I managed to pull a gap on him. And, you know, there's no point. I don't know what to do. I don't want to point a guy by with 2 to go and then punt him. But, you know, it'd be nice to race one of these ones to the finish instead of, you know, get pushed out on the lawn and have to finish slowly. So Was looking forward to a race, but it didn't happen.
Gary Clute, another tremendous finish here at CTMP, but he wants that top step.
Yeah, that classic smile that's normally on Gary Clute's face evaporated when he started talking about that last lap push.
Yeah, you know, Gary, he tried not to sound too angry, but good way to put it there. You know, it's a tough one for sure. When it comes down to these end of these races at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, it's just there's always seems to be contact on last lap. And Gary had a great point there. What's he supposed to do? Point the guy by and then punt him? It's a tough one, but there's no doubt, like I mentioned, Gary's going to put that in the memory bank and you know, see how that plays out the rest of the season.
There we talked about the second half of the top 20. You got Ryan Vargas, Daryl Timmers with great runs there. Glenn Steyer's just off the lead lap in 17th spot, so a great run for the driver of the Zero as well.
Absolutely, that's a great run for Glenn Steyer's. And I'm really curious what happened to the number 87 of Sam Fellows. Ended up with 20th place spot there. He was having a really strong run there through the middle of the race, but like we mentioned, he had a great run going there, and there's no doubt that he's going to come back to CTMP in the fall and be stronger.
Yeah, tough luck seems to have struck the 87 once again. Let's head back to Victory Lane, where Todd Lewis is standing by with your third place finisher, and what a run. This could be counted as a win for that team.
It is a very popular finish on the podium for Malcolm Strawn and team owner Jim Bray. What a race you guys ran today.
You know what, it was great. I was just so fortunate to get an opportunity to run out front, really show what we as a team could do. We've had our ups and downs through the years, some years where the only time I saw the leaders is when they were coming by me to lap me. But this time we got out in front, we were able to show that we can keep a good pace and be up there amongst the leaders, so that was great.
Great, super fun to be up there and battling for that win in the late stages.
Absolutely. The Curb Mustang was fantastic. Jim Bray put a great car underneath me, and yeah, no, it was awesome.
Go celebrate and enjoy it.
Thank you. Thank you.
What a cool story. Malcolm Strawn and Jim Bray. And we will see them again at several more times here in 2025. So we'll take a quick break. We'll bring you back and wrap things up here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park here on Rev TV.
Your motorsports and motoring destination is now on free preview all June. Watch live races from around the world and right here at home. From marquee racing series like the NASCAR Canada Series, MotoGP, IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, the ARCA Menard Series, and Indy Next. Rev TV also features up-to-date news coverage, documentaries, DIY programs, and adrenaline-filled lifestyle programs. From 2 wheels to 4, from land to sea, your destination for speed is Rev TV. Contact your TV provider to order.
It's fine. It happens to most guys.
It does. But these days, Canadian guys have Phoenix.ca to connect with a physician about ED treatment plans that may be right for them.
Or hair loss treatment plans. Phoenix makes discussing them convenient as well.
And if this just isn't working for you, you can discuss additional weight loss treatment plans through Phoenix.
And Phoenix delivers discreetly. So maybe it's time. Golf balls.
MotoGP on Rev TV. Catch the entire season live, as well as highlight coverage programs featuring Moto2, Moto3, and Moto E. MotoGP, the premier class of motorcycle racing, takes you around the world for races featuring the fastest, most daring, and breathtaking two-wheeled action on the planet. MotoGP on Rev TV, your source for motorsports.
If you own an RV, you could be making thousands of dollars every month by renting it out on RVZ.com. So while your renters are making memories, you're making money! And there's nothing to worry about. So RVZ fully protects your RV with best-in-class insurance. So, all you have to do is not a whole lot. There's money in your driveway. You're not using it. RVZ. Go to RVZ.com today.
And welcome back to Rev TV and your live coverage of the Clarington 200. I'm Dave Bradley. Along with me is Trayton Lapsevich. And Trayton, what more can we say about this race? Super exciting and a wonderful way to kick off 2025.
Absolutely. Great finish to the race. A lot of comers and goers, which is what you love to see. So definitely an exciting start to 2025 and really excited to see what the rest of the year holds.
So that next stop, we shift to an oval, and not just any oval, a very racy one in Valley Jonction, Quebec, and Autodrome Chaudière. That's a fun place.
Absolutely. It's a tough track for sure. It's, a lot of aggression, and this is only the first race of the year, but championships are won right from the start of the year, so a lot of consistency. These guys are going to go from this long, windy CTMP to tight Chaudière, so it's going to be tough, but it's going to be exciting at the same time.
No one has ever won back-to-back championships in the NASCAR Canada Series. Marc-Antoine Cameron doing a pretty good pitch to make that happen, winning race number 1.
Absolutely, and Mark mentioned in his interview there that they gotta keep improving their program, which is what they've done. They brought back some speed that we've seen quite a bit recently these last couple of years. So that 96 car is fast, which is bad news for the rest of the field.
Indeed, but it's going to be exciting for you, the fan, and we're excited to bring it to you live here on Rev TV over the course of the 2025 season. Once again, a big congratulations to Marc-Antoine Cameron, the winner of race number 1 here at the Clarington 200 at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. For Todd Lewis and Trayton Lapsevich, I'm Dave Bradley. Thanks very much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Didn't make sense.